Beer and pain pills go together perfect.
Really well. No, I'm off. I haven't taken anything now, but welcome back to we had to take a dang break because my dumb ass crashed on a dirt bike and screwed everything up. We had shows lined up. We had guests. So Josh Grant, we're going to catch up with Josh Grant. I figured Day in the Dirt. So we're all heading to Day in the Dirt.
That's fine. Yeah.
So I thought that's a great way to get. Josh's going to be there. Tyler Behrman's going to be there. Ryan Sipes going to be there. Travis Pastrana's going to be there.
Marvin Musquin
Musquin's going to be there. Randy Richardson's going to be there.
Yep.
So
Randy
I
Blackman.
can't stress that
Randy
enough.
Richardson?
Randy Richardson. That
Fastest
race, you
man
got to
in
do it.
Piedmont.
There's so much racing going on, though, but our buddies over at Vurbmoto, I want to give them a shout out. They've got the Gypsy 500, 2,500 miles away from us out in Mesquite, Texas,
And Nick thinks we could
do both.
run our motos at Day in the
and
Dirt.
try to get
and
there.
Get over there.
for the main event there.
We
So
need a bigger plane.
well, you need more
We
planes.
totally
We need
do.
a plane.
Yes. You'd want to pull a trailer behind there.
Yeah.
Based on all that.
On the
Hey,
plane.
man, you mind hauling this for me since you're going?
I know.
Gnarly.
We got lots to catch up on, though. So, obviously, Daytona Supercross will catch up with some of that. We've got Jeff Stanton's going to be our guest. Again, that is Nick Blackman, John Watkins.
That's Randy Daniel.
Randy
He's the
Daniel.
driver for Carrie Underwood, Brantley Gilbert,
Sick.
Sam Hunt.
Carrie couldn't be here tonight, but they sent Randy and
They
said,
sent her legs.
Well, thanks for hanging out. Randy's going to check it out. And
Randy is only here. I got a few questions. We'll let him nod yes or no. He's not mic'd up, but just about the day you crashed.
Okay.
I think Randy could help provide some insight.
Yeah, and there's
And
so
just
much context to
credibility.
this crash, too, where no, Randy they were gone.
I don't care if he witnessed it.
But
That makes him the perfect witness.
but he crashed and he broke his collarbone like somebody hit with a sledgehammer, and he just got plated.
it wasn't a break because of his hands were out and all the
just so
typical.
crazy flying through the air.
The helmet careened down into the bone. It's exactly like hitting it with a
100%.
hammer.
And he is plated and screwed now.
Yes. So when I
Hates
crash, I never even got my hands down. So I fall over because you guys told me this because I don't really
Yeah,
remember.
You didn't let go of the handlebars.
And I remember throwing up a little bit in my mouth immediately. I was like, oh, man, this has never happened before. So I've never broke a bone. So I'm like, this is what you do. You throw up a little bit?
You throw up a little, but
Throw up
let's
just a little bit.
You want me to give the intro story?
Yeah, let's do it, man. It's a great day. I'm
So,
having an awesome time.
We're riding trails, and Kevin always likes to downplay his ability, but he looks good on a motorcycle. He rides proper
Slow.
form. I don't care about the
Slow.
speed.
Yeah.
You're doing it properly,
Right,
and that's
right. I mean, I've tried that.
that's
I've been around it
90% of
long
the
enough.
battle. Most dudes that say they can't ride, like their legs pop out when they shift gears and elbows all
Is that
down,
wrong?
just looking ridiculous.
Nick's like, oh, I guess I've been doing that wrong.
No, Nick, you don't do that either. So
No, Nick looks good too.
so this work van pulls in. We're at the trails.
This is the karma. This is all about karma.
Yes,
Because we were like,
the tables turned on us.
Let me tell you something. I'll have a whole different story about that with the same thing with karma. But karma it's a real.
Karma
it's
is
undefeated.
100%.
It's undefeated.
So this work van pulls out, and it parks right beside us, and it's got one motorcycle, but two guys jump out and put on helmets, and they're Mexican.
Sure.
And I'm like,
I was
dude,
like, maybe they're going to. I've seen this before where they go up to the motocross track. One dude hops off and they just watch each other and they swap or something.
And they were in a van, so that we still had the potential that there could
Somebody
have been another
could- yeah.
motorcycle
Right.
in the van. There was just one on the trailer.
Yeah.
But maybe he
So it's
loaded his in
possible.
the van. We could pick his buddy up with the trailer. So we think there's two bikes.
But
Wait,
see-
turn me off for
No,
you.
I was
Like
just,
what I'm saying?
I didn't. I was just turning your.
I didn't picture that they were going to go to the motocross track. I pictured one guy on the
Can you
back.
hear? Is this better for you? Okay, I'm sorry because I had you down.
Okay. So I pictured the whole time that these dudes are just going to be getting it wide open, and the guy on the back is just going to be pounding tequila going, you know, and
exactly.
yeah, that's what I pictured. And they're just flying wide open, dusting everybody out, and he's just back there like acting like he's riding a horse and stuff. So I wanted to film these guys.
Yes.
I'm like, dude, Kevin, I got to film these guys, man. This is going to be
They got
hilarious.
one
Like,
bike. They're going to just
they're
rip it.
going to be going wide open with two dudes. And so I try to film them, and they were aware. And so
I could totally see you trying to film me, man.
one rode off and the other one walked behind him. I'm like, why is he
like,
walking
"Yeah,
behind
what's
him?
up?"
But it's
This
because
is after our other buddy that was with us that got he
A
picked up
9,000 horsepower Star.
a brand new Stark set on
Set on
327
3,000
horsepower. It was a 502 Stark, and he roosted them from about 40 yards.
And
they
you
were
heard
parked
it.
4 yards away.
He goes, and but it takes forever for the rocks to shoot 90 feet. And you hear the trailer goes clank, and it hits their trailer, and they go, "Hey!" They're
It's like they were in an asteroid shower.
yeah, it's like he was being it looked like he was being a big dick.
They was all like, "Como te llamas?"
Come on, someone, you son of a bitch.
And
he didn't even know it. We had to tell him.
He
Goes,
had
I'm
no
sorry.
clue.
He was apologetic, obviously.
Well, it was his first time on the
start.
But the rocks
block
he was
landing
landing
never
on
seen
their
Hall's
trailer.
ass. We're like, yeah, we saw that. We saw that firsthand, brother.
That was great. So I tried to film them. They were aware. So the one guy walked until they got around the corner. Then they jump on their 2-up and they're, you hear them take off. And so we put on all our gear and we catch them in the woods. And they are riding 2-up. But they're going.
I was
on
like,
the
oh
trails.
my God, they're on trails, just having the time of their lives.
Riding
man.
trails.
One bike, 2 guys. Let's
Hey,
go.
let me tell you something. Though. That's the beauty.
I
of
love moto
dirt bikes.
I appreciate it. I honestly
How
did.
many did you not at some point when you were a kid ride
Absolutely.
somebody in your neighborhood around and
Yeah.
and I mean that's the same.
Yeah,
same
for sure.
thing.
I mean,
Yeah, we're not
yes.
those dicks, but it was funny. But seeing them, I'm like, that's what love looks like. I mean,
So we were laughing.
love of the sport. Anyway.
Love,
I'm
yeah.
talking about love of the sport
Yeah,
And for each other.
and each other.
and each other. We were laughing at the whole thing.
Initially,
Yeah, and
initially.
I wanted to film them, and then we passed them in the woods, and we're like, man, they really were riding 2-up, and we just thought that was so funny. And then 5 seconds later, I ride up beside Kevin in the woods. There was a left-hand turn coming, and it had 2 distinct ruts, an inside and an outside. And one of my favorite things Kevin ever does is the European motocross announcer where he's like, through the chicanes.
Sure.
And so I ride up beside Kevin and I go, through the chicanes. But I hit the brakes and I let him go on into the
Sure.
turn by himself. And
I didn't panic and go brrr or nothing.
see, I totally pictured that you panicked
Oh,
because, God, he's going to try to pass
no,
me.
if you did, I don't give a shit.
I know you wouldn't care.
but that didn't rattle me or anything
Okay,
like that.
but
Nah.
you-
He was
Hey.
just rattled because you used his joke.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nobody steals my
You know,
joke.
I'm
I will
sorry.
break my collarbone for this.
I'm sorry. Yeah, nobody breaks. Nobody uses my joke. So he goes to the outside rut, drifts wide. The trail breaks off.
Yeah, it's got a little crust on the outside.
And it did break off.
It
in your
broke
defense.
off. And when it broke off, his front tire just drops down the hill.
Little tree about that big around.
Yeah, it's 2-inch tree, maybe.
Perfect spot. I mean, you couldn't have placed
It
any of
went
this.
right between the front fender and the tire and just
Whack.
forks just stabbed this tree and the bike
Is that real? I didn't see it. So is that really how?
100%.
The
You
bike
were-
came to a
Oh,
screeching
my God.
halt.
See, I
Pitched
thought
you
I just
off.
kind of hit it and just hit my bars.
No, no, it hit the forks.
Wow, it went up under it.
And
Holy
you
shnikes.
stopped with the force of a
Hitting
million
a tree.
pounds. Yes. And so it throws you to the
We
ground.
haven't done the math on it, but it was a lot.
It's a very high G-force.
I should have been in the concussion protocol.
You didn't let go of the handlebars.
Nope.
Your
It happened too
helmet-
quick, I feel like. To
Oh,
even,
for sure. Your
for me,
helmet
anyway.
hits first. It rotates your head down, takes the edge of the helmet and just roasts that collarbone. And I'm like, me and Nick are like, dude, there's no way he's hurt. I said,
No,
okay.
it's so slow. We're going
No,
6 miles
because
an hour.
I swear, like when you fell and kind of rolled, you know how you see somebody fall and they roll up to their feet?
Sure.
I thought you were going to roll up to your feet. As I was coming to the thing, I was looking down the trail and
No, I
I
was
saw you,
tasting throw up at that moment. I was
and you
like,
rolled up to your butt, and then you were like,
I said, so through the chicanes made you crash. And he didn't say nothing.
no, dog.
And then I said, so first gear, left-hand turns, that makes you crash. And he still didn't say nothing. And
at that point, I'm going,
he starts going,
my ribs. I didn't know this, though. They didn't never diagnose it, but I broke 3 damn ribs because that still hurts. That hurts more than anything right
yeah,
now.
yeah.
So
yeah, that's pretty bad.
there's a great story. So I'm like, man,
No, he wants to walk out.
I gotta go. I got to get this process started. Whatever this looks like,
It's probably
it's gotta
4 miles
start.
away to back to the truck.
I didn't care. I
Yeah,
did not.
don't pass by the karma part. The karma part was that Kevin crashed, and then we all had to ride out
Pass
double
them dudes.
and
I rode double on that dude's bike, and they're like,
They
he's
filmed
videoing us.
Yes.
They were videoing us. I'm like, mother.
Hey, he
True
was telling his
story.
buddy, I told you that when people ride double.
And now who's the asshole? Like,
We're
yeah.
coming up the hill,
I
and
feel like-
Kevin's grunting and groaning. I'm trying to miss every bump possible. And I go, Kevin, the tables have turned. And those
We were
dudes
right.
are
I mean, they
filming us.
stopped the bike. They're like,
Filming us,
videoing
man.
us. I'm like, unbelievable. But yeah, like I'm like, I'll walk. I don't care. I got to go. And we're trying to decide if we go this way, we go that way. It's really edgy. I mean, it's a trail, dude.
Yeah,
And-
it's a
and-
rough, whooped out trail.
And I
that
did
doesn't
not want to
see
ride
much.
on the back of a motorcycle
No.
I didn't know if I could lift my arm or my leg.
You were making a lot of noises while we were, and I was trying to hit.
I've got
everything
video.
Gently, yes.
Yeah, he
Nick.
rode past.
And Nick's video actually barely captures the Mexicans filming us.
Yeah.
You can see the phone up.
That's so good. I love it. Like I knew it would be funny. I go afterwards. We're like, I know this is going to be great. I know it's going to be awesome, but it's just not awesome right now.
No,
It's terrible.
you're in a lot of
And let me
pain.
tell you something. I love those dudes being out there. I mean, that's fun.
Yeah,
I mean,
let's just go
those
ride.
dudes probably had a blast. You know what I mean?
They had a better day than I did. I can guarantee you that. No doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. They're not in a sling.
So we're riding, and John's doing his best, and I'm holding on. I'm like, oh, but I remember you go, lift your shoulder, and I didn't think it was broke because I've never broke a bone, but I was
'Cause you
like,
moved
I could
it.
move it up and do things that I've seen other dudes with broke collarbones. They're just like, oh god, and it
Yeah.
wasn't droopy like most collarbones are. So,
Yeah, that's why I kept going. He's not hurt, man. And
so I
then
call
I'm
my
questioning.
wife. I'm getting changed. Nick's helping me. Or did
No,
you?
no,
No, you
I
helped
had
me.
to take all your clothes off.
everything.
You dang weirdo.
Everything.
I know.
I'm like, Kevin, this is way
take
too.
the
Why
rubber
did you
off.
take his
I was
underwear
wearing
off?
rubber,
I
you
still
just
don't
don't
know
know.
why.
He goes, be on your knees when you take these off, and I'm like, that's messed up, dude. You're
We were
know.
still cutting jokes. My ribs hurt now.
I don't know. I don't know why you had to take his pants off.
It was weird. I
It's
had
jacked
panties
up,
on.
dude.
It's weird, man.
I said, Kevin,
Why are you wearing
it's-
panties,
It's
dude?
very weird.
Just relax.
Why are you wearing?
It's so
panties?
weird. Just
Who
whatever.
rides in panties,
It's comfortable.
man?
Who rides in a thong, man?
Yeah.
That's a weird.
Yes.
Your butt cheeks hurt on that gripper seat.
That dude in that baseball movie, he wore panties when he pitched. So
I
whatever.
feel like part of it's my fault because number one, I wanted to film the Mexicans. Number two,
That was the
I
karma
screamed
part of it.
through the chicane.
and I heard it. I heard you. I'm
Yes.
like, nah, man, this is good.
But part of it's
Maybe you were
Nick's
laughing
fault.
so hard.
This joke's so good, I flipped over the bars.
No.
What's my part? What
Your
was-
part is the motorcycle that you contributed for Kevin to ride has crappy tires, and every time you hit a bump, it just deflects some direction. It'll just go. You hit a bump, it might go right, it might go left, it might just do an endo.
Who knows?
I mean, that's what
I
you
did
were
well on it
provided.
the whole day. I rode way. Here's the thing that I told my wife. I'm like, here's why I'm so sketched out about ever riding in. That was the most basic straightaway. Nothing is happening. Like I should not walk down a set of stairs to the mailbox based on if I can crash there, anything goes at this
Yeah.
point.
We just need to keep Paul Malin out of the
I
woods.
wanted to quit. I wanted to get a divorce. I wanted to quit the fire department. I wanted everything done. I was like, sell everything. You can have that helmet. I don't give a shit about any of this stuff. Like, but I slowly, John kind of talked me all through. I'm like, man, I just don't know because if you can crash there, then what the hell, man?
For sure.
So
it
bummed
could
out.
happen
But,
anywhere.
I mean, people get struck by lightning standing in their fucking
I
yard.
know.
I mean,
I know.
I mean,
You know how you just go through it. If I didn't have a job that requires me to
Yes.
lift people up, drive fire trucks, and do stuff that I can't do any of that, and I'm on light duty and I'm having to work, admin stuff, whatever. But
Yeah.
it's all part of it. I'm thankful I can do it, and they offer me that luxury of doing it. So
and people get bit by sharks standing on the beach.
stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid.
Well, there's way more people that get paralyzed falling down stairs. And
So
you're
We had
really,
this conversation. If you've listened to the show before,
we have
we Googled how many people die from
Right.
coconuts.
right.
every
There's
year.
coconuts
surprisingly
landing
more.
on your head. It's a surprising number, right?
It's, well over 100.
Yeah.
So we're driving. We have a mutual friend, Mitchell, who's a chiropractor. We're like, let's just go take a look at it. Let's just go see because we don't know. I still
Yeah.
don't know. And we pull into Ingles and we got some ibuprofen. And about 30 minutes in, Nick goes, man, you're moving around pretty good.
Yeah,
I
you
think-
look
I
like
think
you're all
good,
right. We
dude."
could still go
And
back.
it
They're
did-
still riding.
It did take a little bit of the pain. It had to. I ate 4 of them.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I don't know, man. I feel better, but I still think I'm just not sure. Maybe I call my wife.
But
she
he
goes,
his whole demeanor had changed. He
yeah, I was
better.
cutting up, but we were laughing and
See,
whatever.
when you left, there wasn't no cutting up.
Negative.
You were like not
No.
even. You couldn't
Not
turn your head to the left.
no,
you were
I was
like
dreading
sitting
all that.
there.
I just want to get the hell out of there.
I was
immediately.
cuddling him. We were bent. We had a bench seat in the truck.
Yeah,
and he was
slide
sitting-
all the way over there.
he had that
Sissy and Bud,
redneck
our
seat,
tags in the
yeah.
back.
Small town Saturday night. You
Small-
got Nick's got his arm out the window, and the
arm.
other one around Kevin.
We were in the F-100 all of
Driving
a
with
sudden.
my
It was
penis.
weird, dude. So,
One arm around Kevin, one out the window.
and then the other one's driving. His wiener's
Yeah.
driving the truck. But,
Then
so we
you-
get to Mitchell's, and I come in. He goes, man. By that point, I'd kind of tightened back up or whatever. And I
Dirt in
go,
his hair.
yeah, and I go in there, and
Still no pants on.
He sets me up. I'm wearing panties. Shut up. And he takes a picture. And I said, so what does it look like? He goes, ooh. Like, he was like, oh, God.
He does
like,
the
there were
X-ray.
bones going, like,
They were
whatever.
pointed up, dude.
Yeah,
Some
dude.
of them were like up.
I knew it was pointing on my skin, and I was like, I feel like it wants to poke out, man. It was pushing
It
up.
probably
The
could.
funny thing is, it's nothing. I mean, it's funny, but Mitchell has X-rayed a bunch of stuff for me through the years and other people, and so a lot of times when you X-ray something, you really can't see it. You know what I mean? Like
Right, you
it's-
gotta, it
he's
might be a
like-
hairline
and he'll
fracture.
Like show me something. He's like,
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't know. You can see right here. There might be something. Here.
Yeah,
here.
not so
Like,
much here
Not so
or
much
here.
And like you could hear him outside the X-ray room. He looked at Kevin. He's like, "Ooh."
I knew it.
There was.
I knew it.
No
It was very
question,
obvious,
yes, that it was.
That tripped me out when I saw that. I was like,
What was the gap between those bones? I mean, it looked like it was
Inches.
an inch. I was
Yes.
like, these things are supposed to be one piece, and it's missing
Yeah.
an inch.
You mean that's supposed to be connected to that?
oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And my wife had called Pinnacle Orthopedics, and they were like, "Oh, we don't have anything. We can't get you until tomorrow." I'm like, "Oh, come on."
Yeah.
So when I finally get in, they go, "What have you been? Why have you not come in like immediately?"
I love that.
I said, I
dang
tried,
gatekeeper,
dude.
the
We called,
gatekeeper
bitch.
lady.
I tried, and guess what? When I get there, they have an emergency walk-up desk.
Oh, they do.
They didn't tell you. Like, we were just trying to make an
Mildred
appointment.
running the dang counter over
You could
there.
have told me that. I'd have drove straight my
No,
ass
hell
right
yeah,
to
we
it.
would have went right there.
And they would have at least, they said they would have, because when I went there, he was done for the day. It was the end of the day. They'd already booked all their surgeries. And he's like, "Oh my God, I can't, you have to have surgery tomorrow." I'm like,
wow.
yeah. So he added me at the end of the day and he goes, "I'm going to get you all your pills right now."
I'm going to go ahead and make 10,000 more
I
tomorrow.
know, man. I'm going to squeeze you in.
I'm sorry.
I'm $14,000.
Yeah.
So they do the surgery. My son takes me because my wife, we have state championships for wrestling.
Oh, of course.
And I told her,
anytime you crash,
your
it's
wife
always a bad
wrestles?
time.
My wife is the number 4 ranked wrestler in Georgia.
In high school.
Caleb is.
You said that like
I know. We have. She
My
had
wife
state,
has high school
My wife
wrestling.
had state wrestling, but basically she does because she is as committed. She's like Ricky Carmichael's mom. Like
Yeah,
she's
she's
as fully
stopped
invested.
watching. Oh, yeah.
As you guys all know. But so she goes.
she's on steroids.
She goes, "I really want to go. I want to be there." I'm like, "You have to go. You got a mission. You guys got to have something." We've been working on this all year long. So Riley comes up and helps me out, and then so Riley's waiting at the. We do the surgery, and they wheel me out in the wheelchair, and I see Riley pull up, and then these clowns jump out of the truck in full Evel Knievel suits, and they're hustling. They're like, "All right, we got to go. We got to go." They're like, "Is he good to jump buses tonight?" Like this, they waited so long for their. Nobody saw that it's your own joke. Like that, y'all did that for
the
your
lady
own.
didn't smile or nothing. She goes, "No physical activities."
He's got a jump tonight. We got 12
I
buses.
said, "Ma'am, we are professionals,
Yes.
and he needs to be on a motorcycle in about 4 hours jumping buses." So
Is there enough pills
John
in there?
said, "We're a 3-man bus jumping team, and we've got a show tonight. We got stuff booked all
The
weekend."
crazy part, Kevin. So we're thinking that surgery. All right, go back at 10:30, be out by 1:30 maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, it was like 4 o'clock or something.
It was
He was
later.
in there long enough that we thought we lost
Yeah.
you. And so, but me and Nick,
He died. Oh my God, he died. He's going 6 miles.
me and Nick are sitting in the parking lot in Evel Knievel suits, like idiots, and people.
And my
are-
son's like, "What is like?" He is so confused.
he stayed in the waiting room, and we were outside.
They wouldn't let him leave until it got right at the time.
Yeah,
to
they
leave.
wouldn't let him leave. So me and Nick
guy.
are out there hung out to dry in these dang Evel Knievel suits. And people are coming out there and like
Man, he must have had a show.
they
and he
would
got hurt.
look at us and then they would never look again.
No,
just
they were like they didn't want to make eye contact
Right.
with two
scared
dudes in
to
Evil
death.
Knievel
They didn't know what we were about to do.
on a Tuesday. Or
Yeah.
whatever.
Mid-afternoon.
We sat there forever, and then finally we had to pee. So, and we're not going back in that waiting room, right? We haven't been in there. So, we pull down to the bottom of the parking lot, and we're gonna pee in the parking lot in Evel Knievel suits, and like there's a housing development
possibly
back
go wrong?
behind it. I mean, yeah, there's people out there on their porch and stuff, and like 2 Evel Knievels just sitting there peeing.
The funny thing is, we finally decide we're like, man, we can't take it anymore. So we just walk up to the pee in those Evil Knievel suits. And
They're
we
really easy to pee, right? You just got a zip 6 foot line. all
Yeah,
the way
it's a
down.
6 foot
6
zipper.
foot zipper down. So we're standing out there comparing notes, and we're sitting
Nick's
there
just
peeing.
pees out of the top like his. He just pulls that thing like a
And we
snowball.
we turn. Listen, we zip them up, turn around, and there's a Tahoe that was. We thought it was way in the bottom of the parking lot, and there's somebody sitting in the Tahoe just. staring at
Yes, right beside where we're parked.
Oh,
And I'm
my
like, my Nick, were those headlights on before? And he's like, hell, I didn't even look, man. And that joker watched us. Who, if it was a girl, I don't know. who it
Weirdo.
was.
I'd have
Yeah.
like made some
He's
noise in my
super
car.
weirdo unless it was a girl and then it was hot.
It's pretty cool.
Then she was into it. But you know what's crazy?
Yeah, that's my fetish is 2 Evil Knievel guys. I've never had that before.
I've always craved 2 Evils.
What are the chances? What are the chances?
This is sent specifically for me.
So now I'm like, I guess almost 3 weeks post-op. So whatever.
Yeah.
It's the
You
fun
look
part of the
normal.
story. Yeah, the fun part of the story is over now. It's just
Now it's just wake up
BS.
every time you turn over at
Yeah.
night.
Yeah.
Never sleeping.
But now, now
on podcast fashion, we could talk about the things you could take to heal faster. You know, you get some BP 157 peptides. You know,
Stem cells.
yeah.
We should have injected you with stem cells.
Mm-hmm.
Dang, I didn't know.
They probably would have fixed everything without. I listened
No
to
surgery required.
Joe
You've been
Rogan.
healed.
Yeah, Joe Rogan says you just put them in there.
A couple
and it cures
hours later,
everything.
Done. You'll be
Your
racing
bones,
that night.
yeah. Not to start a podcast beef with Joe Rogan since he's got 100 million
No,
listeners.
I don't know that
Don't
that'll
do
go
that.
over
But you broke your leg. Okay, bro, just put some stem cells in there. You'll
Rub
be
some
healed.
stem cells on it. You'll be good.
You'll
dude.
be healed tomorrow.
So where are we at on? It's Day in the Dirt week, dude. This is a big week.
It's Day
and
in the
John has
Dirt.
been. It's been
It's
Day
been
in the
a
Dirt
busy
month.
week.
It's been Day in the Dirt month for you
And
guys.
John's had it worse than me, and we've had it's been.
But John's like John is the guy you want. Like if you got three buddies, John is like he's got a plan. He's got the RV. He's got all the time in the world.
Yeah.
You know, you're set up to be able to do what you need to do. And like he started packing what 3 weeks ago.
I do start getting early because I just don't want to get down there and be like, God, I can't believe I
Well, if
forgot
you start
this.
3 weeks ago, we still get pushed down to the wire.
You do, yeah. And what was crazy is we were gonna race Saturday at Fannin County Motocross. We had
This
a lot of
past
rained out.
weekend,
Yeah, this past weekend.
We had a SEVMX winner's take, y'all.
That's right.
Heck, I spent that whole day when it rained getting everything going. Like
What would you have done had
I
you
don't
not had
know,
that day?
man. I don't know. We would have never fitted in, but that was a Southeast Vintage Motocross, and they named the
Class
200
for us,
class.
yeah.
200 class after the Winners Take Y'all podcast. We felt like we needed to be there.
Right.
And so I divided all these shirts up. I'm like, I'll give this many away. And then they cancel it. So I was like, all right, let's
got
put,
rained
now
out.
we got to put all the shirts, whatever. So Day in the Dirt, we're going to have shirts and beanies and hats.
Awesome.
I have some hats, actually. I have stickers, what shirt, like all this stuff. Anything we have,
100 rubbers.
We're
You
going
got
to come
custom
back
rubbers.
empty.
Yeah, winners take y'all condoms.
If you
When-
can read the whole
And
Winners
it
Take
says
Y'all, no, that's
WY
impressive.
on mine.
Man, I was about to say that's what mine said.
WL,
I mean WL, yeah. I can't
WL.
Wendy.
But you guys are coming in early. We got a good spot to part with Randy and
And
all
I
those
felt like
dudes.
we should. I felt like we should come in early. It's
Story of your life?
It's tough when
I'll tell you how we spent about 2.5 hours when they canceled the SEVMX, and we weren't going there. We deliberated for like 2.5 hours on whether we were going to Daytona.
just for the vintage, which was
for
today.
which would
You
have
would've went
they
down
had
early.
so much rain.
Yeah, dude, you did it right.
It looked like a lake.
It was full moto though. It looked good. Like the track itself, though, obviously those dudes do a great job working it. So yeah, you would have had you would have been way out motored with like those fire breathing Blake Wharton 200s they have, but still,
They look
just
like they got
just a ball.
$40,000 in those motorcycles.
I know, man. Everything is still slow as shit.
I mean, we probably got 10,000 in ours, and I know we do. There's no way we don't.
and all three,
And
of
they're
them?
junk.
for sure.
I go, hey Nick, yours cranked.
yes.
All right, we're coming.
It's on, baby. It's coming.
And then his brakes, he raced all of Mid-Ohio. So when you push the brakes, they felt like they worked. But if you needed to lock the brakes up,
Not
they
happening.
didn't. They wouldn't lock up. And he goes, I just thought they sucked. I'm like, no, dude, something was wrong.
Hey, there was
Can you imagine if somebody like Lars said, Nick, come down to MTF for 3 days. I'm gonna just get your motorcycle as just dialed in, suspension, air, everything. You would know what to do.
wouldn't
He's
be the
riding a bike,
same
it won't even
motorcycle.
stop. He's got a Jake brake on a 200. That's how he's stopping.
dude, that thing. There was times in Mid Ohio. Remember that really steep downhill to the
Straight down.
left? It
You
was
couldn't even see anything.
He's just in first gear. He's getting first gear to slow down. Boom, 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 boom.
I would
boom.
literally be standing on with the,
The
brake
heel of his
pedal with
foot.
my heel of
Yeah.
my boot. Like
That
I'd
thing's
be-
pushed like that. All
It's
the way
like the pedal was hitting the frame or something, is how it felt when I rode it. I go, God, this thing's just going to a point and it's not pushing the brakes anymore. So I took it all apart and lubed everything.
I
and
got to
made
be
sure it
honest
was
with you. If somebody was out there that could take me and set a bike up for me,
It'd be interesting
because I have no idea when
just to
people
see
say
what that's
There
like.
are people.
I don't
Yes.
know. Like I can tell you this. Everybody's like,
Let's don't make them set up an 86 XR.
no. we could do my
Let's
450.
do your 450.
But people are like, well, what do you think about that tire? And I'm like,
I don't know. Is there one on there?
Does it have? If it's
There one on there.
Sick. There
If
is.
it's got
It's
air
got
in
air
there,
in it.
I
I
can-
think I like it.
Yeah, I can't tell until they get wore slant.
No, that's when he was talking about, that front tire of your bike. I'm like,
Oh, that
dude,
thing.
I don't know anything.
So when I
I'm so
picture
terrible
my-
at this stuff. I don't know that stuff.
When I picked your motorcycle up, it's laying off the side of the trail down a hill a little ways. And I'm like, well, I'll just gas it. I'll stand it up, put it in gear, and let
Walk
the
it
clutch
up.
out and walk it up. It would not even go on wet leaves.
Yeah.
And I'm like, look at this thing, Nick.
Ready
It's
for
not
the
even
drag strip, baby.
It's not throwing any dirt, and it's not trying to go. It only went because I made it go. I
Pushed it. Right.
I'm
Yeah,
like, these
I don't
tires are
know.
terrible.
When I got my suspension done on the 450 A1, and they did a good job because, but the
Not
only,
for A1, but a company name A1.
Yes.
A1 suspension.
and the
Andy Humphrey.
But the biggest difference I could feel was it didn't bottom out as hard when I came up short on a jump. Like
Which is that's your deal. That would be my deal. I never clear
like-
stuff.
yeah, I'm
it needs to be
Yeah.
prepared to
Hey, can you set this
smash
so
into
that I can
shit.
case everything?
Every
Yeah.
jump. If you were to jump everything halfway, that's
That's,
what
that's
you
what I
said.
need.
That's where I need to be. I can't tell the difference.
Right.
I mean, I like my handlebars set up a certain way. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But,
your levers and bars. That's
yeah,
about it.
That's about the only thing.
Hey, how are your wives in terms of like my wife? Whenever I called her, I was like, hey, I was really struggling to breathe. I said, I said, I crashed. I'm good, but I'm going to the hospital. She goes, what happened? Like she was so mad at me. I'm like I did this shit. Like I just ran into a wall.
Yeah, so
Angry.
I got a lot of years on a motorcycle, probably close to 40.
And I don't with my wife.
No, I
Like,
do have 40
Yeah,
years.
she's new to the sport.
totally.
So for me, every time I leave, Amanda knows, hey,
There's a
he's
potential of
probably
this.
going to call and say he got hurt. But I, thankfully, knock on wood.
Like all of our listeners, I know this is a thing. Like
yeah,
your
so,
wife, how
so
does she
Randy,
react?
Randy popped some ribs or something. Remember that day his sternum's got like pagers hanging out of it and stuff. It was all sticks.
It's
Oh
a
yeah,
fla-
he
it's-
popped a rib out the same day.
Yeah, the same day
Right, a
that Kevin
flail
crashed.
segment.
I tried to put it back in for him.
And y'all
wouldn't.
both said the same thing though. Y'all both were like, Randy's like, I don't know what Dina's going to think, and you're like, I don't know what to say to Christina. And
Is she pretty new to motocross too? No.
No. See, so it's
no,
still
but
there.
she don't want. I mean,
It's just
y'all had a
they're-
lot of crashes though.
And she's probably pissed. Like, why do you keep doing this? Does she say that? Like, what? Why do you keep doing this to yourself?
And we are jaded. You said that to me the other day. We're like, oh yeah, he just tore his ACL. It's cool. One concussion. It's not too bad.
Well, like when you're at a track, you're at a race, and you see a guy just flip down the road. Oh man, look at that dude! And he's like flipping down the track. But now, once it happens, you're like, holy! I mean, it's a freaking car accident or
Yes.
something. I
If
feel
you were
yeah.
50 and that happened on a sidewalk, everybody would
Oh
come
my
out.
God,
Oh my
yeah.
God! Stop traffic!
Exactly.
But we don't even. We're like, oh, he's getting up.
he'll get
My
up.
wife's kind of like yours, John. She doesn't like. I've been hurt worse on a bicycle though than I have on a
Bicycles
motorcycle.
will bite you.
Yeah, I've been like I've had a
I've
couple
been
of
hurt worse on bikes.
mountain bike and then a road bike.
Those are violent crashes. They're
Yes.
quick and so they're
Yeah,
just,
there's no warning on a motorcycle. It starts getting out of
yeah,
whack
you can
before
feel
you
it.
eat
A bike
it.
won't just hop around. It'll go
Yeah.
whoa whack.
Yeah,
I've
it's
eaten shit
violent.
twice on a road bike and been pretty.
See, I never
jacked up.
crashed a road bike. God, dude, that would have been
Hey,
so
I
scary.
centered one of the. There we have a rails to trails
Crash a road bike? Yeah, I figured.
trail here called the Silver Comet Trail, and at the intersections, they have posts that keep people from driving cars in them. So, long story short, I'm going to spare everybody the details of why
It's a metal
why
post
I hit
sticking
it,
up, though.
but I hit it, and it just like Kevin, the front tire missed it, and the frame caught it, and we walked it off. It was 28 feet from where I hit it to where
To where you were laying?
to where I landed
28 feet.
I mean,
in the
God
air. I mean, I was
dang,
doing
son.
20,
And you're not wearing any gear.
22,
No, you're
23
wearing-
miles.
You got a little
napkins.
plastic bucket. half
It was
bucket.
long enough. I was in the air long
Have
enough
I done my taxes?
that I was looking and I was like, this is going to suck. And so I tucked and rolled. Like I was in, like, it was like I jumped off of something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was
Little
like, holy shit.
So you
This
didn't have
is
any
a-
major injury off
Well,
that?
no, that was the worst. I've been hurt
Road
on probably
rash?
anything. Like
Really?
I got up I called Mitchell, our chiropractic buddy, and he came and picked me up on his way to work. And
Adjust this. I cannot adjust that.
I went and got x-rayed, nothing broken. Felt fine, went to work, got up the next day. It took me I couldn't move. It took me probably a year to get everything back to normal.
You got to get him to tell
my
this
right
story.
hand.
And he's telling me that, and he goes, after I get my x-ray, he's taking me back home. He goes, yeah, I didn't tell you this story. You probably shouldn't listen to me when I tell you you're good to go. 'Cause this dude broke his ankle and then went to the doctor, and you can tell the rest, but he had it, whatever, plated or screwed, whatever.
It was a gnarly ankle
And went to
injury.
Panama City after left the doctor's office and said, hey, I don't need these crutches. He goes, you need these crutches. He goes, I don't. Do I have to? He goes, no. He goes, is it strong? He goes, it's stronger than it was. He goes, well, I'm good then.
Yeah.
Went
Don't
to
worry about the
Panama
pain.
City.
Just go ahead and go.
Walked around Panama City all day, and he said at about 3 a.m. Somebody's shooting him in the leg.
Yeah.
Obviously, when the pain finally
The pain
sets in.
pills and the alcohol wore off about 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
So he goes, you probably shouldn't listen to me because I'm kind of an
Because
idiot.
he's
I
jaded
woke up.
too,
I
man.
felt like somebody had a hammer and chisel.
What did you like?
Beating him.
The last thing I'd want to do
I'm going to do
that
what the
day
doctor
after I had
says.
my thing is go to Panama City. And
Well,
walk
Kevin, you
around.
jumped buses
This-
afterwards.
yeah.
that night, right?
Yeah, we went. They put screws in it. I was leaving the hospital, and he said, "Listen, walk on 2 crutches for like 2 weeks, and then walk."
Yeah.
and then
He walked
walk
9
on
miles
one
He's
on
like, I'm
nothing.
going to La Villa.
I'm going
Yeah.
to Club La Villa and Sharkies and
Walk
Spinnakers.
on,
My
then
bad.
walk
I mean,
on
I-
one crutch for 2 weeks, and then
So a
you
month.
wear
He gave him a
boot for-
1 month program.
and
so-
then ease into it.
I
He
was
went
like, well-
straight to
And he
Sharkies.
said, "But you're not going to hurt.
I got
it
a
anymore.
Night Ranger concert to get to, bro.
Yeah, brother. Do you understand?
You're not going to hurt it anymore. You just won't be able to take the pain." I was like, "Well, fuck this. I'm
I
leaving
can
one of
take
these
the
crutches
pain.
in." So I leave there with one crutch.
I mean, how old are you when this goes down?
24 probably.
Okay.
And so
Where are
we
your
leave
parents
there.
at?
I don't
Like,
have anything to do. I
Why
was
are
like,
your parents
He's
not
grown.
involved in
He's
this?
Well, I'm
24.
24. So let's go to the beach. So me and my
Old man Blackman didn't go, son, do you think that's a smart? Did
he
you?
didn't care. And
He didn't care.
so by the time we get to Panama City, I'm tore out of the
Wait,
frame.
did you just say Panama City?
Panama City?
Oh, he's from Panama City.
Do you
In a-
say that? Is that what you
Panama.
say?
Panama, yeah, Panama.
Oh
Like
my
enema?
God! You
Panama?
never listen to Van Halen? They don't say Panama.
Panama.
They say
I say it that way.
Panama.
Yeah,
they
not
throw
Panama.
that ma.
It's not enema.
I wasn't
Hey, that's
singing
what people
it. If
from
I was
Michigan,
singing it,
New York, they say that.
Come on, dude.
I thought you was from the South.
I sing it totally different.
Yeah.
Okay,
with
so
his-
it's like
with
an
his British
Australian.
accent.
Yeah.
Yes, or a British.
Panama.
Yeah, that's perfect.
And so,
But we say Panama. Don't you say Panama City?
Panties off city, brother.
I don't say Panama. You just
Panama,
said
I-
Panama. Dude, that's a big
It's from a
discussion.
town called Panama City. It is.
Irish.
It
It's
is.
the Irish whiskey.
There you go.
That's all
And
it is.
so
I feel great, boys.
I
I walked
cannot
around all
believe
night.
he says Panama City.
It was
Panama.
terrible. It turned into a really good night. I passed out, and then
Some woman involved in
There was
something.
like a cougar convention, and like
They just
all
showed
these super
up.
hot 50-year-olds showed up, and they was like, "Man, we're
Miss
deprived."
Playboy 1978, 79
Listen,
was there.
well, this is what I took. That's the only pain pill I took. I took one pain pill
and you
after that, and then-
sold the rest.
in the alcohol.
Made $1,900.
Paid for a Panama City trip
Okay.
And my surgery.
Yes.
and the surgery and
I'm
a
just kidding.
new dirt bike. And so,
That
but
was
you know
before
it's bad when you
inflation.
wake up and you pass out and you're halfway in and out of a doorway. Like my
Okay.
You're crazy, bro. This is really hurting.
my back half was in the
Crazy.
condominium. My front half was out, and there was a screen door just propped up.
What? That's how you like woke up?
Yeah, with a
No
Oh my
circulation. His foot's.
ankle killing
I'm
me.
hurting just thinking about
Yes,
that.
I'm in pain too. I don't know about all that.
It was bad.
the throat.
I'm one to follow the orders of the doctor.
Hey, when you
doctor.
don't worry about a hangover when your ankle feels like somebody's beating it with a hammer.
That's true. Yeah.
You know, the hangover was nothing.
The only injury I ever had where I couldn't just go do what the doctor said was at the NBL Grands up in Louisville, Kentucky. I got crossed up with a dude heading into
Did
the
you say
face.
Louisville?
Louisville.
Louisville.
Oh, shit.
Did I say Louisville?
How do we say it, folks? You guys
It's
can
Louisville.
comment.
It's Louisville.
Louisville. So
Louisville.
we got crossed up
Louis
heading
Belay.
to the face of this
What do you call a
triple.
guy named Louis? It's Louis, right?
I don't know,
Louis?
dude. I'm scared to
His
say
name's
it.
Louis.
I called him out for daggum Panama
My tongue
City.
has a
This is
stroke
my
with
friend Lou.
a. You have peanut butter in your mouth right now?
Louisville. So, but we hit the face of this triple night. Same thing. I didn't get my hands out, much like you. So it's just
And bicycle
full-sided.
BMX tracks are known to be nice and soft
They're
and fluffy
packed.
when you land
Yeah,
off.
they're packed with that flat drum roller. So,
Almighty.
so it tore a bunch of ligaments in my shoulder, and man, I had no. I mean, it's a 6-hour drive in a camper or whatever to get home. So it took a long time before I got to the doctor. So once he said what to do, I did what he said. I didn't plan no
I don't
trips.
want to. Yeah, to Panama City. I just imagine him walking, having the time of his life, whatever, and then that ankle's just like, it's coming, baby.
We're at La Villa
It's coming, son.
We were at La Villa dancing.
You had to have
had
had a bit of a limp, though, right? I mean,
I guess. I don't remember.
He's probably
would
running
think-
about 70%.
yeah, you know how you do.
You
When
had
you
to
got
have been
plate,
just
I don't
fresh
remember
plates
much
and
till the
drunk
pain
out of your
kicked in.
mind. There's no way.
You didn't get in the water. You got the screws.
I
And
almost did get in trouble for climbing out of a car window through the drive-through window of a liquor store.
Out of the
so
car
you were
window.
going to climb into the liquor store?
I climbed in the liquor store from the car
Through the
window.
drive-through
love
window.
that when
yeah, they
people do.
really like when you do
That's
that.
one of their things.
Hey, you got any more Tito's in here? You got
Yeah.
your head sticking in.
If you want to see a surprised look on somebody's face,
You take cash?
just climb through the drive-through
Can I work
window.
this off? I'll help you
Jesus, man.
until I work it off.
That's gnarly.
Yeah. I never did that.
The guy that's with me was a lawyer. He's my lawyer.
He was your
Guy
advice.
Yeah.
He said, look, man, they can't.
He
do
was
nothing.
high on
They don't have a
painkillers,
sign
sir.
that says.
So
They should have had a sign that says no
You
crawling
can't
through
crawl
our
through the
drive.
window, or we wouldn't do that.
Yeah, it's your fault, basically. So then they owe you.
Yeah.
Is what it boils down to.
I mean, the good thing about having somebody like that with you is you can get out of jail pretty quick.
yeah. Well, he'll
Assuming you haven't
interrogate.
done something really stupid. The
He'll
bond's like-
interrogate the officer.
yeah, he'll turn
Go
it
ahead
around.
and beat him down. Speaking of that, I went snow skiing yesterday because Nick taught me that, hey, it's no big deal. Let's just run to North Carolina and ski all day
Yeah.
and then drive home.
Who'd you go with?
Took my family. I want to make sure they could ski before I take them to Utah. So, and they can.
All right.
Ava can rip. So, Rhett's the only one unproven. So, Amanda can ski.
He'll be fine then.
But we're coming back, and there's a 4-lane up through there, and I'm running 65. And I knew the speed limit was 55, but all of a sudden I got a policeman on my tail. So I pull over. It's the first warning in my driving history.
got
He
a
pulled
warning.
you over for 10 over?
No, there was a school zone that I didn't know about.
But you got a warning.
Yeah, he goes,
Dude, that's awesome.
I'm just trying to work with Yuns. I know Yuns is from out of town, and you know when I see somebody like this, I just try to work with Yuns. I don't want to, I don't want to have to make a
Fuck
bunch
you,
of money.
copper.
Well, I reckon I'm going to have to lock you up, son.
He said, I see you got some young ones there in the back seat. They wearing their seat belts. And I rolled
mighty
that window
fine.
down. I said, why don't you check? And he goes, yep, looks like Yuns is all buckled in. We appreciate it. And I'm just
Yuns.
going to write Yuns. He said Yuns about 70 times.
What state are we in?
North Carolina. So I
Dang.
drove for the next hour going, if Yuns will come over here, Yuns will find out real quick like that. We take care of ours. Ain't nothing to us. We like it when new people come, and
Yes,
Yuns
sir.
is welcome to come back. I just kept, Amanda's like, shut up. Because I'm delirious, dude. I mean, I've been up, I don't know. And then to go ski 6 hours
Yeah.
straight because there's no lines.
It's a little bit of exercise. You get tired.
Yeah.
Sounds like it.
And then I'm picking up kids who are skiing through stuff, and it was fun.
Good
You know,
times.
same trip, I got pulled over one time and did not get a warning.
Yeah.
But I'll
Do a
tell you,
little unzipping right here.
no, I'll tell you
sir.
pretty sure why I didn't get one. Because back in the 80s, you wore like your ski pants. They had like they were like tights kind of. You know what I mean? Not kind of, they were. But I had this
Spandex.
like pair of, I thought they were the coolest thing ever. They were called hot chilies and they were ski pants.
Hot chili.
And they were
Before
so
Lululemon.
80s, and they had all like this design on them. You know what I
I
mean?
think I know exactly what you're talking. I can pick
Look them up. Those of you watching, the one or two people that are watching.
Yeah.
Hubert,
Hot
come down
chilies.
today in the dirt with you. Hot chilies on.
Hey, and so I had that on. You know, remember back in the like late 80s, early 90s when you just cut your sweatpants off?
Nope.
So I had
But
a pair.
yeah, sorta.
I had a pair of cut off
I had dumbass
sweatpants
legs that did not
with
meet.
the hot chilies under them, which is
Whoa.
which everybody does now, right? But back then it was probably.
You know how they do. Yeah. I mean,
now I see kids with
so
tights
he
and
saw
shorts.
Oh,
you.
tights and shorts. I got
the
you.
dude wanted to make
There
like
was
an
no
example.
The way I was dressed, there was no way I was
You're
getting.
not getting out of
I
this.
wouldn't get out of a ticket
No, you
in
look
North
like you-
Carolina.
Son, if you wasn't wearing them hot chilies, I'd let you ride out of here.
I had long hair, like that outfit on.
Tall, just
There was
whatever.
no
What's
getting
that
out.
dude's name that sings the songs? Not George something. It's
Thorogood,
no, he had no.
straight.
He
Michael?
had no.
Michael?
You're getting closer with George Michael though. It was Culture Club.
Culture Club.
Boy
George.
George. I picture like this guy thinks you're Boy George or something. He's like, dude,
I was
ain't
dressed
not
in
in my
scarves.
county, son.
We don't take kindly to folks
Boy
like you,
George
boy.
comes through my county. I'm riding
That's
him
right.
up.
Keep on going. That bridge over there, boy.
It's canny. Don't.
You seen
ride for
Rambo?
county.
This is a gay version of Rambo. Get on out here, son.
Rambo.
Even-
Get,
hey,
go on now.
I
Get. He
just
throws a
remember
rock
the
at
funny
you. Get.
thing about that ticket was though, it was like a 45 up through there, whatever, on a 4-lane, whatever. It's stupid, but he said, you were going 76 miles an hour, and I was like, no, I wasn't either, because I was in that damn square
yeah,
body.
you knew it wasn't going to really.
I was in the
that
square
Chevy?
body that I still have, that red
Yeah.
and black square body. And so, I mean, this is 88. It was brand new back then. And there were 4 of us in it. And so,
Which means there's not enough seat belts.
hey, we were 4 of us, and I was the smallest guy in the truck.
Oh my god!
And so I was like, I wasn't. And so we went back and forth. I said,
You gonna argue with me or what?
Can I see the radar? And I walked back there with him, and I was doing 66, not 76.
Well,
We done? Are we done?
I learned in this ticket that if they tell you how fast you were going, you're getting a ticket. Because
Yeah.
I said, he goes, hey, I noticed you was going a little too fast through that speed zone. Or the
That 15
Yuns is
mile
going
an
a
hour.
little too
I noticed
fast.
Yuns was-
65 in that 15 mile an hour.
Oh,
school
you
zone.
getting that
when
one.
he went back to the car with my license, I said, he never said how fast I was going. And then when he came back, he goes, I'm writing Yuns a warning. And I said, well,
Probably because he didn't know.
that's what I think.
My
And
math ain't too good.
I said, well,
son.
how fast was I going, man? I'm just wondering. He goes,
Too fast.
well, if I tell you how fast you was going, I'll have to write you a ticket.
I didn't know that.
And Yuns don't want a ticket.
No,
The
sir.
last thing Yuns would want be a ticket.
Well,
You
John
come
does
through
this
my
when he
town,
starts
son.
talking and his chest pops out.
Yuns come through this town right here, son, and I tell you how fast you're going, son.
Don't-
Yuns is getting a ticket. I hate it, but that's what Boss Man said. And when Boss Man said, I'm going to have to do it because Boss Man tear a new one up there. I ain't down for that, son. I got plans Friday.
I got a family.
Don't make me get my bullet out.
Yeah,
The one now.
He's reaching his pocket. Sir, you questioning my authority?
Don't make me get
Did
my
you know my buddy Alan that I own the trophy shop with? That
Yes.
He's a Cobb County policeman.
Police.
Dude, he worked I-20 for Cobb, and he's
I bet that was fun.
well, he would roll up straight with the chrome shades, somebody from like New York or whatever.
Yes.
He goes, now, why ever were you going so fast on my governor's highway? He would say it. He would
My
go
governor's highway
full
was
on
southern.
froghorn, leghorn style. Now, what part of New York you from, there, gentlemen? Like he would go full tilt into
Yes.
that. He would love doing that.
The Cobb County section of I-20
dude.
is about a mile long.
Yeah,
No,
but
I
I apologize.
It's
It was,
notorious.
I apologize. It was 75. Excuse me.
Okay.
was
Oh, well,
75.
that's a
Yeah,
lot
he was-
longer.
Yeah, it was the full stretch.
That
of
might
the
be
county.
25 miles or something.
Yeah, it was 75. My apologies, but he loved playing into that. They think we're this way, so I'm gonna give it
So
to
I'm
him.
gonna let him have it. Well, this dude didn't. He didn't. Hide
Well, you
nothing.
had all them drugs in your car.
This guy wanted to know if I had time for cornbread at Mama's, and I was like, dude,
Well, I'd love to.
I like cornbread, but I want y'all got milk
Y'all got buttermilk?
because if we're gonna do it, I need cornbread.
Speaking
and
of
buttermilk.
cornbread, you think he's gonna be at Day in the Dirt?
What if cornbread? What about, dude? It's been a minute
We ain't heard nothing
since
from
they're,
him.
yes, and I know that when your enemies are silent,
What
that's
if
when
They're
they're
plotting.
near.
They're
what
working.
if Cornbread stuck something in your spokes and we didn't see it? And that's how you broke your
He's
car
wearing a
bone?
ghillie suit.
And he reached up
He
there with
was
a
the
yard
tree.
rake 1 second. before
Watch
your-
out!
And he yanked the trail.
Yep.
Because Kevin rode within 2 inches of the edge of the trail, and he raked it with a yard rake real fast, and
what happened.
It was like a berm on the side of the trail and it just gave way.
Freaking cornbread.
Caused an avalanche.
dude. I
Kill 3 people.
need to go. I'll
Broke
pull
your
the
collarbone.
sign-in sheets for that day of everybody that rode there. If I see it names,
Cornbread with a K. I throw him off.
You're going to eat your
K
and it's a
Lordy.
backwards K.
Oh shit!
That way nobody will figure it out.
A backwards K.
God, they won't know who this is.
Look up cornbread. He's got titty nipple rings, don't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he
Dream
does.
catchers. Strong
Yes.
dream catchers.
dream catchers.
We talked about because we've talked about him a couple times on the show, and then he's going to come. We're going to hear him jingling in the woods as the wind blows as he's getting close.
Yeah.
You hear that?
I
Like some
know.
wind chimes. You'll hear him as he's trying to kill you.
I'm a little nervous about that. Nick has been closest and didn't. He survived it.
Yep.
I just don't want anything to happen. I'm more of a, I just want to laugh kind of person. You know,
Yeah.
I don't want to get in fist
and we
fights.
tease. Cornbread's he's a good kid. But
Yeah.
He spent a lot of money in Georgia motocross.
he's been at it for
Good guy.
A lot of years.
a long time.
Yeah.
Hey, Jake Fricker says he goes, man, I've been around the Atlanta Moto Crew dude. He goes, I've been around Nick. I've been within 10 feet of him. He says, I've got to say hello to him. He does the Atlanta Moto Crew,
Yeah.
the 2-stroke time machine stuff.
Yep. No. I mean, everybody knows they can feel it when they're within 10 feet of Nick.
Oh, you get pulled in. You're like, what's
What is
happening?
this? What am
It's
his
like the Death
force
Star.
fields?
It's like a tractor beam, baby.
Yeah, it's a tractor beam. That's all it is.
That's it. What about Daytona? I know we're not going to get into breaking down that race.
No reason to.
But
Oh, can we talk about Cooper Webb hanging a bird first?
2 weeks ago, yeah.
2 weeks
Yeah,
ago?
we kinda skipped
missed
over that.
Arlington, too. Yeah.
He hangs it kind of directly at the manager's tower, which is odd. I mean, maybe he's aiming past
And if you
it.
watch it, it happens so quick. If you watch how fast,
How did they?
I don't know
How did
they got
anybody
that.
ever know? That's what I'm
that
saying.
was. It
had
was
to-
like it looked like he just went like that.
Like he
that
just shook his
fast.
finger.
Yeah, it looked like a celebration. He just happened to have his
And it's
finger
like,
up.
suck it.
But of course, the photographer grabs the flawless image.
Well, just like the
But
dudes that
if
grabbed
you
the
did that,
ball
like,
shot.
who was the photographer that just was like,
I bet Wes.
I got a good picture of you, and he's hanging a bird to the AMA or Roger DeCosta or whoever it was.
Unfortunately, it was a little bit aimed on the side where Roger was standing. And I'm not saying when you're in third gear, full throttle over a finish line, that you truly just dial in the aim of your bird on the trajectory of the takeoff.
And your heart rate's at 198 beats a minute.
Yeah, 'cause you're at the tail end.
and you just won like moments ago. Like,
Yeah,
it wasn't
like
it was
it's not like you were
cruising.
not only an intense physical activity,
But there's not.
you're winning a Supercross.
We haven't gotten the answer though, right? No one knows why he did it or who he did it to, right?
No.
My sources say AMA.
To the AMA.
Oh, because they fined him for the no interview.
Yeah, who knows?
But
Who knows?
But other sports have a fine for no birds, right? I mean, you hang a bird at
Oh,
somebody,
yeah, for sure.
you're fined.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if anybody saw it or not. If one person saw
Right.
it, you're paying the fine.
NBA eats people up with it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like you flip a bird.
NBA?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. See, I don't know about all these other
And
sports. but
NFL, like they've the people.
Conduct.
It happens in NFL a lot too, like because the fans are so close yelling at people. They
Basketball is very intimate.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
those dudes get into it all the time. So,
Okay.
I get that.
And there is a rule of some sort. I
For
just
sure.
don't know that it's been enforced ever. I mean, when you got Nicoletti and others who just that's his way of saying hello.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, he's
hangs birds.
His Instagram. I
You
got
know
to
what?
do
I
some
don't-
interviews with him
but
this past
that,
weekend.
you know, and
He's
this
a good
is
dude.
motocross is a little bit like, I mean, it's entertainment, right? So you're no matter what. I mean, you got a sport aspect of it, but the goal is for entertainment. I mean,
Yeah.
so it's a little bit like prize fighting or what, you know what I mean? Like that won't do anything to admonish Cooper Webb's image. Like that would just make him
No,
more
I mean the people that
popular.
love Cooper Webb, like
I think
hell
that
yeah. And the
makes
people
it
that hated
more
him, like
awesome.
man, screw him. Like it's
Yeah.
Once
But
you
would
either
win some
are
people
you're
over
here or
that.
there.
You know what I mean? Because like if you were on the fence about Cooper and then you see him like
The emotion.
flipping the bird and you know he's into it, the emotion, then you're like,
I
all
appreciate
right,
that.
Cool.
It
I
usually
appreciate-
works
I mean,
in their favor because you got to see something.
Well,
of his
here's the thing.
personality.
It
Yeah,
wa-
because we've tried to make it so vanilla and
how
not-
much was they? How much did they fine him? Do you remember? Like $1,000?
I don't even know if he was fined.
I don't know that he was
I didn't
fined.
see the. They normally have a report each week, and I've been
Okay,
seeing them.
so maybe he
posted. I don't
wasn't-
know that he got anything.
I thought he was, but in this day and time with social media, if you did something that got you $1,000 fine
Whoop-de-doo.
and you got 5,000, 10,000 more followers,
Yeah, for sure.
you covered that money.
You paid for it, yeah.
It's
You
worth
bought
it.
those extra likes,
You
right?
know?
Or follows
And-
or whatever.
You know, I don't know. So even some of the
and at that moment, he ain't thinking like that. He's
Like
just like, I'm
Jason
so hyped
Anderson
up.
and Jet grabbing each other's helmet. I mean,
That was nothing.
there's
dude.
nothing, but that's what gets eyes. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
Like,
and
Oh,
the Feld
no doubt.
typically reuses that footage if there is any.
and it got some love on the next broadcast.
They'll run it on the pre-race.
Yeah, they're
Weston
and
Pike has got 3 hours of screen time
Easily.
whooping Vince Freeze's ass,
and
Yeah.
that was a good.
even though he didn't.
But look,
doing it.
like back in the old days, and I know we have a older demographic days. People sometimes, I mean, NASCAR that like Bobby
That fight,
Allison
that's
and
where
that
NASCAR
fighting, you
took
know?
off.
100%.
They'll
That is
tell you
where
that.
they took off.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean,
And
just,
the NFL's hardest hits, like it's gotten. I know it's gotten so big, but dude, they would be like, "Oh, we're not against all these hits," but then they would show Deacon Jones like clotheslining people,
taking somebody's head off.
crushing.
I mean, you
people.
talk
and
about
they were like, "Oh, you can't do that," but then that's how they sold all their end of the year
Yeah.
videos and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Taking somebody's head clean off their body. You know what I mean? Like this-
mid-80s NFL football
Lawrence
was
Taylor?
brutal. Like
Oh yeah.
the kickoff, you're just like, then just get
Dudes
plowed.
are just drilling you while you're
Hey,
looking
I
up.
mean, that's a rule. I can't believe it went that long.
A punt returner, that is like
Yeah.
people
the
just
worst
getting
job. Hey man,
murdered.
you're
It's
the rookie.
roulette.
Get that rookie out there. You're catching the ball. Like,
Yeah.
oh.
or just catching a pass over the middle, and those guys are defenseless up in the air. And,
Yeah, and they're running a different direction than you're
You're,
going.
not,
and
you're
just
looking
hey.
up, and they know it. They jump up in there. They're like, "Here we go, dude. You left me up." That he knows he left him exposed.
yeah.
Hey,
Get pissed
coach,
off.
let's don't run that play again. How
Please,
about that?
ever. So we got Jeff Stanton coming up tonight, and we didn't really cover Daytona. I do want to circle back to that. The crowd running out there. I know it's been,
They went too early. I
Obviously.
think people enjoy the crowd at the podium.
and
at
if you
Daytona.
look back, there is a wall of there's security there. You're not stopping those people.
Not when they decide. Not when they
and
all decide.
That slow mo video, those dipshits running and hitting that grass and going whack, whack. There's so many of them falling. Like, yes.
Yeah.
I watch people. I'm on a lift with my son. I'm like, dude, watch this. My kids came with me. I had to have a driver down there because I couldn't drive, and I had to get Riley to help me up in this lift.
Yeah, he's privileged. He's got a driver.
Yes, exactly.
Drops him off here.
That's
every
why
week.
Randy's here.
Yeah,
he
Kevin,
drove
he's a
Kevin here.
Yeah.
Right. Me and Carrie Underwood.
Sorry, Carrie Underwood. I got to drive Kevin tonight.
Yeah, sorry about your luck, girl.
So she's down somewhere in Florida driving a damn bus by herself.
Yeah, dude, she's all over the road.
Pissed off.
Thing's a lot wider than them other cars you
I
normally
need to
drive.
give him a
Tomorrow,
raise. This thing's
TMZ
hard to drive.
TMZ's going to be like, Carrie Underwood ran over 72 mailboxes last night.
I kept hearing them noises.
Because
and they
Randy was
seemed-
driving Kevin Kelly.
Yeah, she's trying to play guitar and play for the little group in the
While
in the bus.
she's
There's been a
driving.
picture like Randy and Kevin, like, the eyes big, like you got caught doing something.
Hey, one thing, I know we're trying to talk Daytona, but Randy Daniels, so for years, did you not have to haul a gym for Carrie Underwood? Didn't you pull a gym?
I pulled it before, but they call it every
They take a gym
Like a big trailer full of stuff.
a trailer full of workout,
little boy about 40 foot.
40-foot trailer
40
for
foot
her
trailer.
to work out in.
And I'm sure all the gym stuff's like bolted down and just you
Oh,
walk
yeah.
right in and you go.
It's for her to work out.
It's got a generator. It's got lights. It's got
Then
AC.
another time, he was a driver like on the Taylor Swift tour, I think, years ago. She's probably way bigger. He goes, well, she's got 3 full stage sets and 29 trucks on the road. And it's like, they just sit
Supercross
there and
only has
leap-
like how many
That's
ever?
what I'm saying. This is one artist, and they're leapfrogging each other to be in the next city
get
already
set
set
up.
up so that 3 full stage
Let's go back to this gym.
That's what that gets me, man. I'm like, dang, dude, he hauled a gym just so she can work out. It's
And
incredible.
what if she goes, I'm not feeling it.
Yeah, wherever she wants to work out. It's,
Well,
it's always available.
Hey, Carrie wants to work
she
out at
can't
Walmart.
walk into the old workout.
No, I
anytime.
get that.
She's
Dude,
not,
if she is, we all need to know where and when.
it's paid off for her. Maybe
Yeah,
that's
it's
what we
paid off.
need.
I know
damn
that's what
gym.
I need.
Jared
you
said
can
that's
bank on
what.
that.
Jared said that's what we need.
Jared, man, you guys, the only thing that make this better is if y'all were in a gym. Yeah.
You know what, Jared? Like we need to
Because
get
the
him on this
camera
show.
adds 500 to
You
600
son
pounds.
of a gun.
I know we got like 6 cameras, so that's a lot.
Right.
Yeah. So that's 3,000 pounds apiece.
Dang it, man.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so back to Daytona. Those fans jumped the fence too early. The race was still going on. Just because Jet has crossed the checkers does not mean,
There's still people racing.
God dang, there were some close calls. You know,
No, there
Aaron
were.
Plessinger couldn't even get off the over-under. He's
Nope.
stuck up there. How many seconds?
22 seconds, I think, was what Anderson lost. 50
It
something.
added 22
Right.
seconds to his
Thank you.
lap time trying to finish.
Appreciate it, brother.
And then Plessinger was almost a minute
Right.
that it added.
I mean, my question-
Thankfully,
I hit-
nobody's really battling on that.
Yeah, that's
last
what I
lap.
hit. I hit Mike Pelletier up. I'm like, hey, let's say AP and Jason are racing. They're 5 seconds apart. And Jason has to stop
And
for
it
a fan, and
changes
he
the
goes,
outcome.
"Brrr," yeah, and it costs points. Like, I mean, do they just go, hey, it's kind of an act of God. We couldn't stop it, or
Or do they take the lap before his position? And I mean,
do you just kind of go, all right, we got to
Hey, it
freeze
just
this.
counts when it happens, man. It's like that football game. Remember when they ran
Yes,
through the band and all that?
Yep,
Yeah.
it's happened before.
well,
but
in winners take all, that
This
had
is
to
a
have
great-
affected the results.
excellent point. Go back the big fist
When
fight. and
Bear
all that.
was fighting on
Yeah.
the, and he's like Supercross, and he's throwing dudes off the finish line.
Bear.
I mean, that's the exact same scenario.
Why don't they just
basically.
borrow a bike? I've always wondered. They spent all night working on this bike.
Man, I got
They
some,
did the
I got
other
some
two
tires.
dudes. I got a set of novices that'll stick to the track like glue. Why
Dude,
did
I
they?
need an 8x10 photo of your face right then. That was the best face you've ever made.
But why they didn't borrow? Those two guys didn't qualify.
No crap. There's
You
motorcycles.
just take their
sitting everywhere.
bike, dude.
The whole thing.
They got that stupid Harley Davidson Captain America.
Yes,
Plus,
the
you
tank.
could,
Fonda
hey,
tank.
plus you could buy a brand new one for $2,000 back then.
Exactly. And what was the seat, man? That was some kind of.
Off of like a
It had a,
DS
hump
80
like,
or something.
No.
You're right.
It,
It
was
had
like
like
a
a-
cruiser. It had a
Right.
back seat, dude.
It was built for 2. Yeah, you're right.
Oh my god.
Which we've gotten good at, so we need to
True story.
ride 2. Which
Yeah, we need to ride 2 up.
Randy Richardson joined us out by putting a.
That's so funny.
he put
Don't say we need to bring the Goldwing just because Randy saw a trophy with a
We have to
Goldwing.
bring 9 trailers and your Goldwing.
Hey,
if you wrote it
listen.
seriously though, you'll be a legend.
If I
you
raced a
rode
Goldwing,
a Goldwing in the damn Day in the Dirt.
if 2 people rode it. I'll ride
2
on
people
back.
and you had like lunch.
why you got to be on back? That thing weighs 830
But listen,
pounds.
so that thing you do the coup de grace on the Goldwing, pack that thing with ice.
It's cool. What's fit? Yeah.
lunch. I'm
And the
talking about
Eagles. We could crank the Eagles.
you cruise around, park, camp, watch a little riding.
Do you think it would be a problem on a starting line if the Eagles are wide open? Like Hotel California
Hell no, baby.
They
That
can,
would-
I mean, there's probably not an AMA rule about that.
it's not an AMA.
I think
bro.
we
Oh, it's
strap.
not?
I think
Okay.
coup de grace would it be a problem if I like just strap like one of those JBL cordless
No.
speakers onto
Please
my bike
do that.
and play it while we're.
The
I
whole
can't
time.
ride this long
Yes.
without my music.
That would be hilarious.
Run that thing the whole time and just pick the
Listen, Randy was getting on us about
are
winning
you
the
gonna play
championship.
Mozart? Like, what could you play that would be just ridiculous?
Would you want my favorite Mozart?
I'd say boy band stuff the whole time.
Just boy
yeah.
band music.
That, we are in Florida, so
Could you imagine if he's
Is that
rolling
guy-
out?
is that- you are.
Beethoven
My
37 is my
fire.
favorite. Beethoven.
That would be
I
amazing.
Beethoven 37.
We'll be
I'll just
doing that
jam it.
karaoke.
Beethoven?
We carry
Yeah.
over
We're
that.
going to karaoke Beethoven?
Well, he just was brought up
That's
classical
really hard to
music,
do.
and I was telling you my favorite is
Oh.
the 37th Beethoven. So,
Solid.
Okay.
but I can ride with. I'm going to ride with Randy Richardson just to show him how good it is.
When somebody's on back?
Yeah.
Do you have a speaker?
Huh? Yeah, I got a speaker.
A loud
What's
one?
this?
Yeah.
A good one.
Oh yes, JBL.
Yeah, he needs like thump.
I got a good
dude.
JBL.
If the bass will thump, I would want that.
Oh, that'd be bad.
But I'm gonna. Me and Randy are gonna take a lap, music blaring,
Let's go.
me cuddling him from
And
behind.
Randy, dude, he's going to go fast with you on back.
Randy's
I know.
he's raced Supercross. You're gonna have a hard time.
He's
keeping up.
qualified for Supercross main.
He'd be tough to beat on that vintage bike. I
I'm
couldn't
not
beat
trying
him.
to be. I can't beat him. I'm talking about riding on the
Okay.
back.
Oh,
You better
ride
find
with
a
him.
place for your
Yes.
legs. Tell him, call foot pegs.
I'm gonna wrap him around him like
No,
a.
call foot pegs, and then he has to put his feet on top of
I'm
yours.
gonna wrap him around
That's
him
how
like
me
the
and
girl
Kevin
in
did it.
Footloose.
We did do it that way.
Yeah, like
That's
Ariel.
right.
Her name was Ariel.
Ariel. Yep.
Red boots, man. Those were sinners' boots.
So I
listen,
watched the new version of Footloose that was released in 2011.
No, don't. Why?
It was just to see how horrible it was, and it was
Just to
horrible.
see
It was horrible.
It
You're
was-
not going to beat Footloose. man.
remakes are just terrible, and that was
Except
terrible.
for
Yep, there's been a few that are good.
freaking Top Gun. That
Top Gun, they did
Oh,
it.
yeah.
They
It's
didn't
hard-
deviate.
No.
But
they
that
say-
wasn't a remake. I mean, it was.
well, I
There's
mean,
a
like
whole new
Top Gun
storyline.
2 or whatever. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? It's just
But it
hard
still
to.
had the same people, but Footloose they tried to copy the exact, and they used a lot of the same stuff.
Oh, I see.
but
Just like a total
it was
remake,
like a
like
total remake, like somebody else.
With a whole new cast.
Yeah.
full circle.
Yeah.
And then
you
I had to
can.
hear my wife talk about how Footloose was the first time, like Kevin Bacon in Footloose. She was like, I was a little kid, or the girl, like she was probably 12 or 13, and she's like, that's the first time I ever like felt something like watching.
That's the first time I felt something.
She was like, hey,
Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon.
That name, Kevin Bacon.
So now I got to kick his ass.
Jeez,
Yeah, you're going. Yeah,
You've heard of the game,
if
the
you see him,
6 degrees of Kevin Bacon?
Yeah.
Can you get to Kevin Bacon? In
Oh, absolutely.
6 people.
Yeah.
I can't.
Everybody here could. Yeah, you could.
I know I can.
I
But
bet you
can't
can.
Tell
I
you
bet.
how.
I bet Randy's a
Because
big
of
conduit for
Randy.
you to Carrie
Yeah.
Underwood to
Boom.
Carrie probably knows
Kevin
a
Bacon.
person that knows Kevin Bacon for sure.
Yeah, you could get. I mean,
So
you
there
can
you
get-
go. You just did it.
You can get there in 3 spots. Most everybody could get there in
What
probably
now?
at least 3 spots.
Kevin
He
Bacon's
has a
got a
band,
band.
that's
there's,
right.
There's Randy's tie.
That's right.
He's in the music
We can
industry.
get there in
I can
3
get-
spots in this room.
Walt Goggins. I go me, Walt Goggins, Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, that's right.
That's
Which you get one person like that. Well,
how did that
Walt
ever
Goggins.
become a thing, dude?
Well,
Why ain't it
because
like
Kevin
Isn't
Nick
that
Bacon's-
wild?
Blackman?
Yeah. Why not? Why him? Why 6 degrees?
Why not Nick
like,
Because he was
Blackman.
in everything. You know?
You've been in
I mean,
a lot.
6 degrees of Hall and Oates. I don't know.
Nick's been in a lot of them.
Yeah. You can get to almost anybody.
In 6.
I want to
people.
get to Nick Blackman. I want that to be the game. I don't want it
That'd
to
be
be Kevin
harder. I
Bacon.
think getting to Nick Blackman would like
Really? You think that'd be harder?
than Kevin Bacon for most people because he's not as widely known.
It's only one for me. He's right
Boom,
there.
he's right there. You got it.
Yeah.
I'm going to try to call
Hey,
Jeff Stanton. What do you say?
Carrie Underwood can get to Nick Blackman in
That's
By the
exactly
way-
what we need.
2 moves.
Yeah, 1, 2.
So
Who
that
would've
means
thought?
Kevin Bacon can get to Nick Blackman, and 1 more, 3 moves. He's here.
So really, see, Kevin, you're writing this game off. I don't see how you could even say it shouldn't be Nick Blackman.
6 degrees of Nick Blackman.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's see
Yeah.
if Jeff Stanton's got a tie to Nick Bacon.
Nick
Kevin
Bacon.
Blackman.
So we're getting ready for Day in the Dirt. I went by Kroger.
Because
Go
that's
ahead,
what you
keep
do.
going.
When you got a big motocross race, you're like, God dang, where's the nearest Kroger?
Listen, I gotta eat, right? I'm gonna eat.
But looking at us, you know that it's me that has to eat.
So I got like 4, I don't know, probably
4
20
boxes.
pork chops. I got steaks, 3 dozen eggs. We're only gonna be there 3 days. I got
going to Florida
steaks,
this
pork
weekend?
chops,
There's a hurricane. We're going to help donate to all the people down there with steaks.
3
and
dozen
pork
eggs.
chops.
3 dozen eggs.
I'll eat that.
Again, now
We'll eat
camper-sized fridge. And don't forget.
Meat water, baby. It's
Yeah,
gonna be
we're going to
egg
have
water.
meat
We'll
water.
eat
Just
3
like
dozen
Loretta's
eggs in 3 days.
95.
I love eggs. I could eat.
Yeah, I'll eat 6 eggs for breakfast.
Really?
So, yeah.
God, if I did that, dude, I'd be... 2 is it.
2
No,
eggs?
I can't eat more than 2 eggs.
I
I've
eat
eaten
3
3
eggs,
before. I
3
feel
minimum.
so
No
full.
man can eat 100 eggs.
I feel so.
All right, y'all ready to
Y'all
call
ever
Jeff
remember
Stanton?
that? Yeah, go ahead. We're talking while you
I know,
do
but
it.
I can't do it because then it's weird when we're
No,
just
I-
Hey,
doing it all
before
over
you
again.
dial
I like
it,
that.
I won't tell Jeff the story.
Nick loves that.
But at the night,
It's my favorite part.
probably I bet it was the 05 or 06 Atlanta Supercross. We were at the Legends and Heroes tour, and I'd taken a bunch of motorcycles down there
probably him. He
to
just
display. And Stanton comes up, and he's hanging out at the booth, and so I'm talking
That's
to
him.
him.
He knows. He literally just said all good.
Okay.
He knows it's good. He said, "You're cool. Keep doing it."
So Mikey Edwards, who is the guy that Nick roughed up at that Monster Mountain race.
God dang, dude.
Mikey, we always call him the king of the 125 because he always goes pretty fast on a 125, right? So Mikey walks up and I'm talking to Jeff Stanton and I go, Mikey, I've got to tell him that you are the king of the 125. And he shakes his head no, real slow. And he goes, this is strictly a 500 moment. Because Stanton was a bad dude on 500.
Stan was a bad dude.
That's where he got his claim on that Yamaha.
No doubt, dude.
You
I
need us
know.
to help you up,
Hey,
Kevin,
what's
while we're
going to
doing it?
happen, Kevin? We're going to call Jeff Stanton after Kevin visits the ADA compliant bathroom. over
Hey,
here.
Randy, can you go help Kevin P?
Kevin's a left-handed
Yeah.
guy, so use your left hand.
Can you
Randy.
pull his thong over the side while
Randy,
he pees?
why don't you take the seat right here? Let everybody see who you are. I want everybody to know that he can make
Kevin
you.
just went to the bathroom one-handed. He's going to be gone for like 20 minutes.
I know
trying
he's
to
going to
pee.
come back with his pants down.
He's going to trail of piss all over your floor all the way back.
The more people that meet Randy Daniel, though, the more they realize that 6 degrees of Nick Blackman is possible.
Yes, Randy
Because the
Daniels.
more people that know him makes the game.
Randy's a key player in that game. man.
100%. Well, the
mean, a
game wouldn't
key
exist
player game.
without him.
Yeah, it's key. You could do, like, all you need to know is a couple of famous people.
Yeah.
And like,
Well, I know you,
and everything.
and I know Randy.
And
So-
you're the one that knows everybody, man. We go to Waffle House, and you're like the king of
Hey,
Waffle
man,
House.
what's up?
What's going on?
Who got that grading job over there? Did you
I
ever
know.
find out? That's the
Everybody-
kind of stuff that gets
Hey, there's
said.
nobody in a flannel shirt with a vest on.
With a
that does-
contractor starter kit. I
contractor
know.
shirt that doesn't know John.
If they're wearing a contractor starter kit, you can bank on it.
Jeans, not bedazzled jeans. They don't wear those to work. Flannel, vest, and a pair of
Boots.
slip-on boots.
Yep, slip-on boots. I can always kind of tell you their financial status, whether they have a bad reputation for paying their bills on time,
Yep.
or if they have a good reputation. They might.
John would tell that waitress in Waffle House, he's like, you watch them, keep your eye on them, man. They're liable to dine
They'll
and
stiff
dash.
you, dude. They'll take off running. Them boots don't look like they'll go fast, but they will. When you didn't pay the bill, you'd be surprised how fast.
We were at Waffle House one time, leaving after going to Buckhead one night when Buckhead was a thing in Atlanta. It was cool. And there were some people that we knew that went to school with us, and they dined and dashed on a Waffle House. Like we were in the other, like they,
Dang, what was the
like
bill?
we-
Like $12?
Yeah, and we saw them. Like we were like, "Hey, what's up?" When we came in, we
Yeah.
just happened to sit on. It was like after Saturday night Buckhead party. So we were on the other side of the restaurant, and so they jumped up and took off running, and the cook just turned around like almost like he goes, "We got runners." We're like, "What?"
That's like like launch the routine.
Yeah.
Launch the routine. We've got, runners. And then they launched the routine.
They were
Hey, we
out.
updated your Facebook status
I think we
while you
wound
left
up-
your phone there.
And I think it was like $20, and we wound up paying the bill.
I would think so. Because
they said, "Do you know those guys?" And I was like, "We said, no, we just met them out,
We're about to waste $20 on what they ate.
And so the waitress was like, "Man, I'm gonna have to pay for their meal and all this," and we just paid for it.
Does that happen? The waitress has to pay?
I don't know. Maybe she got.
I bet
us,
they take
but
it out of her tips or
They
something.
probably did. I don't know.
Y'all ready?
She's
yeah.
supposed to watch them.
Ready?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Supposed
Six
to have
times.
them locked down. See, we told you 6 times we're ready.
Yeah, 6 times he said it. Over and over. So I felt like 6 times in a row. Don't tell me you're going to turn this phone off and start over.
We're gonna take up a
I'm
damn.
You know what I have to have?
An apple.
No, some whatever it's called, whatever they call it, whatever that comes out of this.
Doppelganger
Doppler
cord.
radar.
Goes into the-
Doppler radar
What an idiot.
cord.
Yes, it tells
He's
you when
gonna
it's gonna
shut them
rain.
down, and when this is what happens when your
This
technology
pisses me
piece is
off.
a dirt road. It's like our internet is not even paved; it's still gravel.
Marty.
It's okay, man. I mean, it's the world is not good for
you
people
know,
who don't have Apple
While
products.
we're killing time with doing this, I literally got in an argument one time over which the guy was wrong, but in like high school over what the Doppler effect. Like he was trying to explain, I was like, "It's not right, bro.
Yeah,
That's not how
and
the
Nick
Doppler
would know
works."
too. He'll know some odd facts on you.
Right?
So sometimes if he's willing to die on a hill about something,
You better
Just
understand
know he
he's
knows.
researched this.
That's
You
why
want me to
he's
tell you
willing to
the,
die.
like the super snobby like thing that finally happened to me? Or not, I don't know. And maybe it's not snobby, but we were on a lift.
okay, number one already snobby. Yeah,
But
we were
this
at the
dude-
ski resort.
I hate when people like are trying to be smart, and then you could tell the guy was educated, probably had a great job. He was up there skiing with his family, yada, yada, yada. And I'm just redneck sitting over there, me and Stephanie riding the lift up. And so something happens, and it starts trying to explain to his daughter Pavlov's dogs, right? And he's going into the story, and he's all just telling it wrong. I'm just sitting there.
Is he just making it up?
He's just
And
going,
you can hear it on the
and he's
next chair?
No, we're all on the same chair. It's a four-person
four
chair.
chair.
No, wrong.
And it's like he's going on, and he keeps saying, "Well, it's a Pavlovian
Pavlov.
instead of Pavlovian." Like, and
Wrong.
he's like, "Yeah, well, there was this scientist, which he wasn't. He was not. I mean, kind of was, but like
Not properly schooled.
more of a psychologist. But he
Yeah.
was talking like, and he had his dogs, and he was trying to. I forgot what, and he was just butchering it to his poor daughter. And finally, I was sitting over there, and Stephanie was like, "Don't do it." And I said, "It was a bell. He rang a bell when he fed the dogs, and they started.
and they learned to salivate
and they started
based on the bell.
and they probably hated his guts because he waited.
Well, that's what when
It
Nick
was a bell.
when I was on the
And
phone
it
with
was
Nick,
Pavlovian.
and he was at Cycle Gear, and this guy goes, "Hey man, yeah, we got a special on Fast House Gear. You know, Fast House started as a beer company. They sold beer, and then they got into gear." And I'm like, "No, Nick, tell him. I
Nick,
can hear this guy
straighten
saying
him
it.
out. The dude's an
no, they
idiot."
didn't do that. Like, come on, man.
That
He
would have
was
been
like,
your
"Yeah,
Pavlov's.
they're a beer company." And I was like, "Is that right?"
Ah.
Kevin's like,
No, no. You can hear me on the phone going, "No."
That's pretty nice. At first, I thought he meant you were on the phone today in Cycle Gear because Nick calls me while he's in Cycle Gear.
All the time.
I'm like, dude, well, from now on, I want to know when I'm on a three-way call.
Baby.
Yeah.
I don't need Kevin stalking me and recording my words to
That's
use against me at a later time.
Kevin says,
Why is this thing not working?
Well, I'll tell you why. You need to use an Apple product?
"They take your whole life."
Hang on, I'm Googling Jeff's number.
It's on Google. I just did this.
Well, you did, and then you didn't.
This
I
is
think you could probably, instead of
extremely
starting over. What's going on there?
He just played music to prove that
just
he
to
can.
test that it's working.
So let me tell you my other karma story. Let's go back to the karma of Kevin
Now we're
hurting
back.
Sev
We're good.
because he.
I can hear it.
Okay.
Why?
Okay.
So y'all don't get that story.
Hold the placement.
Yeah.
Karma.
Are we good?
I don't know, man. I'm trying really hard here. Technology is not my
Yet to
friend right
reach
now.
our neighborhood.
Kevin's
Jeff.
flip phone kind of.
Yes. We're piping in sunshine down here. Let's just say it that way.
All right.
All right. Yeah, he's like, I don't trust you guys. Jeff's never been on this particular program. He's been on my other show, DMXS Radio, but now we've got you on Winners Take Y'all with my friend John Watkins.
Yes,
who
sir.
You've met many times, Nick. And
You have met me a few times, Jeff. I used to supply a bunch of the motorcycles for the Legends and Heroes tour in Atlanta, and
Okay.
multiple times you walked over, and we've had conversations.
whose piece of shit is this bike?
Yeah, exactly. And
I was gonna say.
no, actually, I had some XR75s there. So
This is a man that, he knows
Jeff
his way to your
knows some
heart.
XR75s, and so what I specifically remember about that conversation is you had some XR75s in the crate.
What?
I've got one new one in the crate, and I've got one of every year.
That's cool. What if that crate is
he
just
kicked
empty?
your ass on
Dude,
XR.
you suck.
No, he's
Like-
got me beat on XR75s. I've only got 3
Oh,
years of them. So,
I just lost so much respect for John.
Yeah, we
that
didn't know
quick.
this. Now this show's over.
Yeah,
No, it's not. Keep
we're
talking to
kicking him
Jeff.
off. We didn't know that you had him
So
beat
Jeff,
so bad.
is there any? Have you ever even looked in that one crate? I mean, is there a chance that you've just been holding an empty crate all these years, or is
No.
it?
There's nothing empty about it.
Ah, that's cool, man.
It's like, hey, that crate's like the Ark in Raiders of the Lost Ark.
No,
You're
it's
gonna open it,
Yeah.
and it's gonna like kill all the Nazis.
what
I've got a 90. I got 294s still in the crates too.
Ah, that's sweet. And I would imagine we're talking CR250s at that point, right?
CR250s. Yeah, they're not going anywhere.
Wow, that's
And I
killer.
got a 2007 in the crate, and it ain't going anywhere either.
Dude, I know that they're kind of old, but I'll give you sticker for whatever that
Yeah,
94
this
was.
retail was.
Whatever retail
Hey,
was.
what
I
about a
was-
Triumph? Did you get one of our buddies down here?
So-
They got some Triumphs in the crate.
And kept them in the crate.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah. They're getting ready to go out.
Yeah.
Well, he's getting one.
Yeah.
Sean said
Yeah, he committed to it, and
yeah,
he said, "Hey, I'm leaving it
I'm
in
leaving
the crate."
it in the crate. Yeah.
Yeah, it might be cool.
He's a big Honda guy, but so
Hey, I believe, no BS, and I've talked to everybody about this at Triumph. I believe honestly that half of the bikes that are going to sell this year, the Triumphs, I believe the collectors will buy them and leave them in a crate.
that's kind of awesome.
It is odd. It's the first time I've ever been called and said, "Hey, would you like to have one of these?" And just sort of stick it in a barn in the crate.
Yeah, like dealers are reaching out to guys they know that are kind of into that stuff. Like,
Yeah. That's the first time that's ever happened. So you may be right.
It wouldn't surprise me, and because Triumph, they've got their family, they got their people that are loyal, and just first time, it wouldn't surprise me if legit if half of them or a quarter of them go right into a warehouse and stay right there.
Yeah.
hey, I was watching, and I'm just going to go right back to 1980.
Don't do it.
No, when Ricky comes back at Gatorback, and dude,
He won,
I
right?
I watched that on YouTube, and I'm like, is this thing on loop or something? Because every time y'all pop over that damn tabletop, it's like y'all pass each other. It looks the same. I'm like, how does this happen? Y'all passed each other 5,000 times. I felt like I was like just some dude just added the same clip over and over again.
That's funny. Yeah.
Was it
It's
a
all
back
good.
and forth? Was it like the whole entire moto type
Hell
thing?
yes, it was.
Absolutely back and forth. And, as I, said over the weekend, we just had the trust for each other, and we could just pass and battle. And it was super fun.
One of the things that's kind of cool about that is you take RJ and Stanton and you come all these years later and you're fully involved in the adventure world these days, and and Ricky's dabbling some feet in there. I mean, it's kind of a natural place for old motocrossers to go, right?
Well, right now it is. The adventure bikes are just so fun to ride, and honestly, I can ride my Tiger 900 I like a motorbike. I got so much time on it. I really love it.
Yeah.
And I guess the connection with that is most of my clients followed me when I was racing, and they're in that 55 to 65-year-old age group, got some money, ready, close to retirement, and they just want to come ride and hang out and have fun. And it's a perfect fit right now.
Do any poor 55-year-old guys try to hit you up? Like, hey,
Ewan's got
he's
any,
probably like, I ain't the guy for you. Maybe hit up Jeff Frizz. He might have something going
We
on.
got 3 dudes in one bike.
yeah. That
Oh, you were offered up to us when we went to Triumph. Remember, they said, "Oh, we got to get you up there riding with Jeff."
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
They.
Rod.
Yeah, Rod.
Puznik said
Yeah,
that.
he
Yeah.
said you guys got to go visit with Jeff. Yeah, we hear you're already booked up.
You're booked up,
till
man.
25.
You're booked up for the whole year. What a great business problem.
Yeah. It's taken me some years to get it to where it's at, but there's just a couple of spots open that where a group of 5 or 6 came to me, and booked all of them. But I don't like to mix parties. Mixing parties
Yeah.
is just not. It's not as fun. I would rather take those 5 or 6 guys and enjoy their company and make them happy, as to put 2 guys in that aren't as good as them. And
Yeah.
and somebody I've learned somebody leaves, not disappointed, but somebody doesn't leave pleased, whether it's the 2 guys that have to ride over their head, or the 5 guys that have got to go too slow. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, for sure. There is some some flow amongst a group, and you want to keep that flow. So I'm with you on that.
Absolutely. Yeah.
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 So you guys, you stick to a pretty set route there in Michigan, or do you alter it up and you say, hey, these guys are more beginners, so we're going to do this?
I judge my ride off of the ability of my riders.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take me long to figure out, within an hour I can figure out, who the weak length is and who wants to do what. And, if I've got some guys that, just want to stick to some hard packed gravel roads and just ride gravel all day. And I have some guys that want to go off and do some seasonal roads that get a little more technical. I've always got another guide with me, and, I'll split up the group. They'll take a certain way back, and then I'll dart off, and, I try to please everybody.
Yeah.
So it doesn't take me long to figure out, what guys I can split off and go somewhere. Or if this year I've got multiple groups of 6, 7, 8. One group's got 9 guys. They're all buddies. A whole group out of Illinois. It's a birthday ride. They all race hare scramble. They all ride.
Yep.
And so I know automatically we'll be able to go ride some fun, not single track, but some seasonal roads and get into some technical stuff. So make it challenging, and it's more fun for me too. So, I just judge off of my clients, and nobody wants to hit the ground. When everybody's bouncing off the ground, they're not going to go home and tell their buddies how awesome it was. So,
right.
I got to keep that in mind too.
So you obviously, you don't do it because you need the money. You had a nice career. You obviously just enjoy the hell out of riding these motorcycles and sharing that love with other dudes. Because I feel like that's the way Ricky is, and most of the guys that do it are in it for the right reasons.
Absolutely. And I don't do that many. I do 8 a year. I do eight, no more than 8 people. I don't want to be herding cats and chasing people around. We all put communication in everybody's helmet. We all talk. I tell stories the whole time we ride, and I put communication in their helmet for safety, but it ends up it makes the day go so much quicker because everybody can talk. And I use that for safety as well, because everybody starts off, they're all chatty, and we have lunch, and by 2, 3 o'clock, it starts getting quiet. When it gets quiet, that's by indication that so they're getting tired. It's time to get some roads and get back home.
That's right. Yeah. Hey, did you know about the upcoming Triumph motocross bike when you started this alliance with Triumph on the adventure side?
Tell us your timeline of being involved with that, and were you there before Ricky, or was it him before you? No, what? We're at the same time. Nice. Ricky, Rod, and Ricky connected on this whole project, and straight up, Rod says, "Who do we need in our corner?" And Ricky's like, "Hey, we need this guy in our corner." And so really, because of my good buddy Ricky and JH, knowing that I wanted to start an adventure business, I talked to him about it a bunch. That's how it all came into play. Rod calls me and says, "Hey, I got to hire you. You're the man, and you want to start an adventure business, and I'm all in. Whatever you need, you got all the product you want. Wow. I want to sell bikes. Let's go do it." And then that, within a year, turned into, "Hey, we're doing this." And
we also have a motocross bike coming.
Yeah. And I hit you up last week. I'm like, "Hey, man, let's chat." And then I didn't. And then I started to look at everybody's Instagram. I'm like, "Oh man, these dudes are knee deep in this bike launch at
bike release."
Yeah. You guys you had your hands freaking full last week. Then you're the Grand Marshal of Daytona, so it must suck to be Jeff Stanton, apparently.
No, it's like I've said, I'm pinching myself every day. I've just been involved in so much here in the last year. Alpine Stars really taking care of me, and I did the global press release on the new Tech Air off-road jacket. I was in Death Valley doing a press ride to them for a week with the press from all over the world, and then Triumph's got me flying to Spain to do press launches on the new Tigers and then the motorbike, and so it's just like, I'm super blessed. I'm fortunate that my kids are. I am, because my kids are out of college. My daughter just graduated from vet school. She's doing surgery on horses every day. My son's graduated from college and was recruited for a big chemical company. So my kids are established. They got their houses, and I got time to do it. My wife's in the medical field. She's super busy. So it's like, I tell her, let's go.
That is awesome. So, great timing.
Hey, we talked a little bit about Davey Coombs told me this story, and I never heard it. And I'm sure you've told this story before, but I just want to hear your take on it. The Coors Extra Gold, those little packs of gold they gave you at the end of races, and Davey's walking through your house. He's like, "Hey man, have you ever had this? Like, how much of this stuff do you have? Like, can you go back and tell that story? How you just kind of held on to the gold and then you whatever. Now you have like
no. Back in the day, Coors Extra Gold was a sponsor, and you know, if you won the heat race, they give you that Coors Extra Gold, you know, plaque for pulling hole shots or whatnot. But a certain amount of races, the promoter offered gold medallions instead of the purse money. A $8,000 check, they would pay gold medallions that came in a plastic little sleeve, and the medallions went in there that equaled the same amount of money as the purse money.
That's
and
a good
so
investment.
I've held on to them, absolutely. So they're in my safe, little sleeves of gold medallions. And so it was just, they didn't do it at every race that year, but it was just like a select amount of races. And yeah, you were crazy not to, because that's
gold should appreciate, right?
Doubled or tripled or more than that since 1992.
That's awesome.
Jim Holly's famous for racing Canadian races and taking the gold and holding the gold. And today, today's value, it's amazing that, you're a young guy. I'm sure some people took that gold, cashed it in, and went to the strip club. Went to the strip club or something. You were smart enough to hold your money, man. That's great.
Took it to the pawn shop, got it weighed out.
Yeah, go to the pawn shop.
The best I can do is $1,200.
Yeah, right. They're offering you less than it's worth that day, right? To cash it
and
out.
And there's nobody else that has gold Camel trophies. Camel cigarettes were the sponsor. And I don't know if you've seen the championship trophies that they give it. It was a gold-plated Camel.
I think I remember that.
So I've got 3 of them in my trophy room, and just something else that nobody else has as well. So pretty cool.
Those things have to be like worth a fortune in the Middle East.
A gold-plated
gold camels. I'm sure they are.
Man, I just saw some footage circulating, and I've never seen this, and it is you flexing on Jeremy McGrath at Southwick. It is such a
I saw that come through. Did you guys see that also come through? And I messaged the guy on Instagram. Did you guys see it come through that 1993 Daytona Supercross when they were beating on my my linkage bolt, beating it in, and I literally was kickstarting the bike 5 seconds before the gate dropped, and so that guy posted that after the weekend deal. So there's cool stuff going on.
That and Gatorback. I was in the stands at Gatorback, and they're the 2 card goes up, and I'm like, what are we waiting on? Like, these dudes have got factory Honda. What in the hell is going on? And I see you go down the finish line, jump backwards. I'm like, this dude can't start his bike. And you bump start that thing.
I forgot about that. You know what happened there?
Homeboy pulls a whole shot. Like, he's done that twice now.
He didn't have time to think,
so
man.
I forgot all about that. So I'm doing the parade lap, and my bike runs out of gas.
Oh shit!
There's no gas down at the freaking bottom of the pit, and I'm like, dude, what's going on? What's going on? And so, long story short, my mechanic in between motos takes the gas tank off, sets it on the ground, and the freaking petcock filled with dirt.
Oh wow!
So
that's what's going on.
It was clogged.
It was clogged. There was enough gas in the carburetor to do 3/4 of a lap. I turned the gas was on. I looked in the tank. The tank's full. There's nothing going in.
So when you
Dave
drop
Arnold's
the bowl,
Dave Arnold's the one that figured it out. He pulled the hose off.
That's genius.
Opened the petcock, nothing come out. And he sucked on it, sucked the dirt plug out, put it in his mouth, put it back on, haul ass up to the starting line, and go race.
Okay, so my story's not quite correct, but I just remember you coming out of that pit. It's like, and he rolls right into that gate, and that gate's about to drop, and he rips a whole shot. I'm like, holy shit, dude.
That's gnarly.
100%. I forgot all about that, dude. That's exactly what happened. Yeah,
that's awesome. Well, you didn't have time to think. You pull a whole shot. You know what I mean? You come up,
Dave Arnold sucking dirt out of your gas tank. Like, that's genius to think. Like, there's got to be a reason. It's very basic stuff.
Yeah, it should just open and.
That's a good mechanic for you too, because we would always
suck the gas out.
How are we going to dig that out?
Oh yeah, we would have needed all kinds of little tools.
Little
something to stick in there.
Dental tools.
Man, you had such a weird career plight in terms of like. You weren't like some mini sensation. I mean, you were good, but like you weren't some guy that just made it right in, got the ride, did this, that, and other. You did your deal on the Yamaha. I was there, I think the year before, like, and then you finally got your ride with Honda. And it's like, And Ricky was like, "Oh, I'll take care of this guy." And like, damn it, teacher becomes student or student becomes teacher kind of thing with you and Ricky.
Yeah, no, I've been blessed and had a great late career in my amateurs. 100cc titles, Loretta's, and 250 and open bike and stuff. And so I was, everybody thought I was the big 500, going to be the big 500 national champion. I finished second like 6 years in a row, and but yeah, no, it's been a great. Been a great career. I can't complain. Let's talk about that whole mini bike thing. If we look at the mini bike world over the last 15 or 20 years, anybody that was a super mini bike kid, all mini bike. I mean, the list can go right on. I'm gonna use Rider D right now.
Yep.
Everybody thought he was going to be the next everything, and
For sure.
it's a struggle bus. So I think that later generation starting, big bike being successful. Look at McGrath, and carrying that on. I think that's. I think there's something to be said about that.
Yeah, I think AC, Jet Reynolds, they all kind of were the next thing, and it just quite didn't pan out. Yeah. Then you got guys that I barely, because I've announced all those kids for so long, like from all the amateur races, and some of the kids that I never announced. Ryan Dungey, he won 1 title at Loretta's. Ryan Villapoto, 1 title. MC, 1 title. So I mean,
you go.
It's not indicative. Just because you're a successful amateur is not indicative of your pro career.
And it could be, some of it might be your body matures different. You know what I mean? Like
you peak differently. Your circumstances are different.
Everybody had those kids in like 8th grade that were the best athletes that had beards, and you know what I mean? Like speak. Yeah. But they never get any better or grow. You
could almost make the point though that some of these kids they do well early, then they're given the best equipment. And then they do even better early because now they're on the best machine that's head and shoulders above. And this was early, probably your time, Jeff, with Team Green, your time of racing 100s. Team Green was probably like the epitome of amateur Yankees. Everything.
Absolutely.
And so if you were on that bike, well, all of a sudden you're winning and you're just not as used to the diversity or adversity. You're not used to adversity. And somebody like Villapoto, who lost to Alessi his whole amateur career just about.
Correct.
It was his time to win, man. When he turned pro, it was his time. And, Jeff, you were probably the same way.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, and then, I got some breaks, and you create your own luck, and you surround yourself with successful people. And, I got some amateur kids now that I work with, and I tell their parents, like, oh, we need to go to Florida. We need to go do this. I'm like, no, make your kid go to school this winter. Make them stay home, play some sports. We'll start up in the spring, and they will be just as fast at the end of the year, if not faster. They won't be burnt out, and so it doesn't hurt. Everybody thinks you got to go to MTF or GPF and ride all winter long. Well, you just get stuck in the same rhythm, and you don't have that fire. You don't have that burning fire if you do it every day. Or if you take 3 or 4 months off, and that, to me, that's huge as well.
Yeah,
I think that, and they even said that there was so much upside when Roger picked Ryan Dungey. I'm like, it looks so genius, but that they said, look how good he is, and he only gets to ride, like what you're saying, 5 months out of the year. What if at that point he was ready to move to that 8-10 months out of the year to ride? Like, this guy's that good. His ceiling's way higher than all these other kids that are pounding out motos 10 months out of the year.
Yeah, absolutely. So fun stuff.
Hey, talk about taking. Like, now that you get to hang out with Damon on some of, I think you guys have been in the same vicinity with each other a few times.
Heck, I think you invited them up for your adventure rides, right?
Yeah.
You guys y'all were arch rivals back in the day, and I'm going to let you just talk about it. But, man, I was such a big Damon Bradshaw fan. And when you beat him in 94, that hurt my heart so bad. I'm from the East Coast. I'm from the Southeast specifically, so I watched him ride a lot. And I'm like, damn it, this Jeff Stanton guy is just unbeatable in 94, and Damon just freezes up at that race. It's tough.
Yeah.
Wasn't it
92?
Well,
92, was it 92? Correct.
Yeah, 92. I talked a little bit about it this weekend. Damon was the mini bike, the YZ80 God on a Yamaha, and I was on a 250. I was on a big bike, and so we would always park in the Yamaha pits together. And his parents got along great with my parents, and so it's like we traveled from Ponca City, Oklahoma, to the National, and we always done stuff together. And at that age, and then we progressed and was still friends, and then he progressed up into the pro class quick. so we had respect for each other. So because we knew each other at a young age, and we always was palling around and doing stuff together. And I think that's why we had the mentality that we could race each other and race each other clean and just battle. He knew I wasn't going to take him out, and I knew he wasn't going to take me out. He was going to make a clean pass. And so that's why there were so many rich battles between us. And so, yeah, we would play basketball together. We did things together and had things in common, and it was all good. And so, we didn't hate each other in the battles. We could be on the podium and, hey, it's awesome. Yeah. I was mad because I didn't win, but I still had the respect for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
well, it was a whole lot.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. No, you can go ahead.
Umpteen years later, I got my adventure business, and I call him and I'm like, hey, if I had some more star status, I could draw some more people. You want to come hang out with me for 3 weeks? We'll do 2 adventures, and then we'll do an MX single track ride, and I'll post it and I'll pay you to come. And so we did that, posted it, sold him out. He came up in Michigan with us, and we hung out for 2.5 weeks and rode adventure bikes and MX bikes on single track, and just told those stories to all the people that were there. That's the cool part about that whole deal, is really that's people want to hear the stories and know what how we did it and how we approached it. So yeah,
it was if you were an East Coast, Southeast, I would say you felt like you had to be a Bradshaw fan, and he would come to some of these high dollar races around here when we were young, and he would just wax everybody, and we would pull for him, and then that's part of what makes all this seem so epic in our minds. We can think back and visualize all of it, and heck, Ricky Johnson even basically recreated what you did with Damon on your adventure ride when he took everybody to Anaheim 1, him and Bailey breaking down that epic Anaheim race, same as your Coliseum race. And so
no, absolutely.
Yeah,
so
powerful stuff.
I'll give you the backstory on RJ. So I've got this so I lived with Ricky for one whole summer in 1989. He helped me out a ton. I lived all winter with him. We trained, we rode. You want to be successful, surround yourself with successful people. So I've always been grateful for him, and I was bummed when he got hurt and appreciative. And so this adventure thing's doing well, and last year he calls me. He's like, dude, I want to do this. I love your website. I love the ease of it. I like everything. He's like, I'm like, here's the web guy's number. Here's the booking agency. Just duplicate it. Put your picture in there. You're not going to hurt my business.
You're on the other side of the country.
You're totally. You can grab your demographic.
One hand feeds the other. And so it's funny, now he's using my web guy, and he's just kind of dittoing it and putting his spin on it. But it's all good. So a little bit of a struggle getting for somebody to give him bikes, which that's the key to my success. Is Rod is just
for sure.
Rod and Triumph, man, unbelievable to me. And just, how many you want? You want 10 bikes? You want 20? Here, let's go. Let's do it. So
well, and they're laser focused, and that seems to be such a growing segment. I'm certain that Triumph is. It's not an accident.
They see the value in it.
Yeah,
obviously.
They see the value. It's not an accident.
Yeah.
That's a segment they want to be in. You're a good vehicle to, because I'm certain that after these guys ride these bikes, they're like, hey, man, I think I should buy one of these.
We've
I
got
loved
some
it.
friends that are old motocrossers that ride. They have Triumphs. Yeah, they've got
for sure.
Tigers.
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm selling bikes for them. It's just been a good situation for everybody.
For sure. Hey, when you rode at the Triumph Motocross debut, Gatorback, was that the first time you'd been on that track in a lot of years? Like, how long was that? When was the last time you rode Gatorback?
It has to be, right?
94 was the last year I rode Gatorback.
Wow, man.
It's not crazy different. It's same kind of basic layout. I mean, I know there's jumps and stuff, but
it's not insanely different.
I will say this: that
The
dirt is
prep
way
is
harder.
different.
Yeah, the dirt was way blue groovy when you
when
guys
Jeff
rode.
raced there, that dirt was terrible.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I was surprised how similar it was, and no, we had a great time, and we only had 15 or 20 people riding on the track, and Wynn and his crew watered it every day, so the dirt was actually every day the dirt got better because the moisture stayed in there.
Yeah.
We had a great time. The press release was phenomenal. The American press was obviously a huge key for our success and getting the good vibe out there. I mean, you think about it. They've been taken 5 years to get this bike up and going, and just tens of millions of dollars they got invested in it. And you whether you like it or not, all these Verb and Vital and Whiskey, if they don't like it and they write something bad in the first 10 minutes, it's sink, dude. And that's what I kept telling my people at Triumph. It's sink or swim with this group, and we got to swim. We got to be walking on water, and so we put a good product in front of them, and we did a great job. And so just the response was super, super fun.
It's been all
really
positive.
Yep.
I mean, every ounce of every media outlet has been positive.
Yeah.
They all talk about the sound of the motorcycle. It must have a healthy engine because
I told that to Bobby Hewitt this weekend. I'm like, dude, that bike just sounds weird. It's different. It's got a little more metallic sound to it or something.
Yeah.
Something's up with it.
So
You look good too.
no.
I saw like an Instagram clip, and I was like, dude, look at Stanton.
Yeah, dude. When I watch older guys like myself included, like you guys you're couple years older than me, but like
some vet riders look like
they
vet
look
riders.
like they're 55 years old. Then you got like dudes like you. I'm like, damn, man.
I know.
the form's right.
I saw the clip on Instagram. I was like,
Really?
holy shit! Look at that.
Still there.
Yeah, I still enjoy riding. My son and I race a bunch of vintage races, and we got got new Hondas in the garage, and so I enjoy riding. It's fun, and ride adventure bikes a ton. So it's just like anything. As long as you use it, you don't lose it.
Yeah, it shows because
then you're gonna lose it.
I really wasn't thinking about you motoing that much, and when I saw you, like, I was like, dude,
He's ready for the ride.
yeah, he's.
Hey, talk about like I know our sport has been so goofy. Like when I go back and I watch YouTube, I can't remember what year it was. I don't think you participated at this point, but it was like, and the second main event here in the 250 class tonight. I'm like, holy cow! We used to race two main events, and then all right, I remember this is right in my wheelhouse. We're like, all right, we're here at round one of the AMA Nationals. We'll take a break from Supercross and we'll jump into the outdoors. I'm like,
yeah,
if you were to do that right now, eight rounds into Supercross, all right, everybody stop what you're doing.
Race an outdoor national.
Go ride Gatorback, and then we'll jump back in at Daytona, and then we'll continue on with our Supercross series. Tell me, like, I guess it was all you knew, so whatever, no big deal. But like, can you imagine telling, all right, Jet Lawrence,
switching to outdoors.
We're switching for a weekend, and we're back.
Well, think about it. When they did the playoff last year, everybody panicked because they didn't know how to set their bike up.
And I'm sure all you guys were like, come on, dude.
And you're like, bro, we used to have to switch.
We had to switch for one race. Like, but anyway, speak to that. Like, you're probably going to say it was no big deal. Like, this is what we did.
Well, exactly, that's what we did. And for me, you do let's say you do 6K races on the West Coast and hard packed dirt and just the West Coast. I'm from the East. Damon was from the East, so we wanted to get back to Atlanta, Gainesville. We raced our whole amateur careers on this side. So for me, I love to get back on the East Coast. I love to do Atlanta. I would stay all week after Atlanta, in between Atlanta and Gainesville, and I would ride at none other than Ichikani.
Oh wow!
There you go.
Pounding out laps at
he
the
said
sand
it correctly
track.
too. Ichikani. Matt Walker
right.
actually owns that now.
Yeah, that's what.
Makes
I
sense.
know. That's what I was saying. Matt Walker's just turning it into something. We would stay in Macon, Georgia, right there.
Wow.
And go to Ichikani and ride all week before Gainesville. Build momentum, build relationship with my mechanic. Do Gainesville, and then we would stay in Gainesville. Go down to Ocala, ride at a private track in Ocala all week before Daytona, and just moto and train. And that was always a build up to my championship drive because I just build confidence and have a bunch of good races there. And so,
Is that what really took off
yeah,
for you? Like, because everybody always says, like, once we get to Daytona, and like you can kind of figure out who's who. Like, if you felt like if you were in the hunt by this point in the season, it was game on.
Yeah, oh no, 100%. If I could have a solid Atlanta, which I always did, and a solid Gainesville, and then go into Daytona, you're building from there. It was awesome.
I don't get it, Jeff, because I've ridden Itchicunny like four times
nothing
already
builds
this
for you.
year.
Yeah, it didn't change anything.
It says I suck and I still suck and I sucked again. I
I'm
did
having
it four
four
times.
times already this year, just this calendar year, and I still suck. I can't get it. I don't know what's
Hey,
going on.
Atlanta, is that where Ricky goes down? And that's kind of where you, in '89, that's where you win your first one. I feel like '89 was pretty rad for you, and that's where it all takes off from there.
That's where 100% where it all took off. Ricky fell down. I won Atlanta, so then I had confidence to go into Gainesville. Then he gets landed on, by Danny Storbeck, and runs his career, and it just built from there. It honestly did. Yeah, that's why I say you create your luck. You have a little luck. I just feel like that Austin Forkner, for example, dude. If he could just a little luck on his side, but you create it by doing good things, being good people, and yeah,
For sure. Yep.
So you were the new guy. Ricky was your mentor, and you come in and you kind of just take over from there. And then you experience the other side of that when this number 15 guy on a 250 that you have to deal with this guy. How quickly did you know? Okay, things are about to change now. This dude's going to do some winning.
Yeah, well, we knew that when he was on the peak Honda, doing West Coast Supercross. He was doing things that nobody else was at that point, and so you knew it was a matter of time. It took a year in the big bike class, but he was changing the sport. Kind of the.
Well, did you run across him at the practice track? We're like, man, I cannot shake this dude.
No. We rode together and trained together when he was on the peak team. He'd come out to Simi Valley where Honda Land was, and we would, we would do stuff together. So it's just a matter of time. It's just a big circle of life. Every 4 to 6, 7 years, there's always somebody new coming in.
I can remember there was. It seems like Jeremy got a bunch of hole shots and won, and then something would happen to you and the other front runners wouldn't quite get a good start, and you're battling from the back. And there was some interview somewhere. It's like, well, yeah, just wait till we get a start, or some. And I don't know which rider said. I don't know if it was you or somebody else, Jeff. But heck, the next weekend, Jeremy doesn't get the start, comes from 6th and wins. And it's like, oh, darn, he really is here.
We've debunked that one.
Yeah, we was just trying to talk ourselves, and that was going to happen. But
right.
The truth is when you go on a winning streak like that, his confidence levels is at an ultimate high, and he was changing the evolution. He brought the bicycle manuals and stuff in, and starting to scrub, and he changed the evolution of Supercross. It advanced a bunch throughout his career, and then then Bubba comes in, and we're scrubbing even more, and now these kids are doing it even more. Now we got. Go ahead.
No, how out of sync, or not out of sync, but how different was California for you than Michigan? Like, you just want to get in. I feel like you were just a worker. I want to get in. I want to win titles. I want to get out of here. But like the party scene, like Jeremy came in, like he fit.
He was willing to have some fun.
They had a great time. Like, I don't see you at some club at 3 a.m. or whatever.
No. I was. So I bought a place in Simi Valley out by where Johnny O lived, and trained with Johnny O, and I would leave here the 1st of November just because it would start to get cold, and I would stay and train and just do my grind all winter out there. And my point when I would come home would be Daytona. I told you I'd go on that. I'd fly into Atlanta. My dad would drive my pickup down, and I'd have my truck down there, stay 2 or 3 weeks on the road down there, and then after Daytona, boom, I'd come up and I'd be home from Daytona till November. Yeah. So it's just something that I had to do. Born and raised in Michigan, home's home, but I had to just put in my time and do my work in the wintertime out there.
Was your confidence always up? I can remember watching you, and I always no matter what was going on in the race, I knew, and I always felt like you had the confidence because you were in great
Physically.
Freaking
physical
strong,
condition.
dude. Yeah.
They're like, no matter what was going on, I was like,
The hotter, the rougher. Please,
Yeah, I was like,
please.
Stanton's gonna
That's
be
why I
there.
feel like you looking back at MC at Southwick was like, bro, you're a little Supercross guy, and this is a man's sport right now. And
Yeah.
I just felt that flex when the clip is amazing.
yeah,
Yeah,
I just
no,
always knew he was going to be, you were going to be there.
Yeah, as long as I did my work. My wife just told this story to the president of Daytona one night at dinner this week. As long as I did my work, as long as I did my motos and did my running miles and my bike miles and did my homework, I was on the starting line and I knew that I was invincible. You know,
Awesome.
that's just no different than the way Ricky was in his career. He knew that if he did his motos and his turn track, and Jeannie did all his lap times, there was nobody going to beat him. And I was the same way. If I had a bad week and maybe didn't get enough riding in that week due to weather or injury or whatever, then I'm sitting on the starting line and I'm doubting myself because I knew I didn't put in my time. But as long as I put in my time, especially when we went to outdoors, if I put in my time, my motos, and I was prepped and ready and ate right and slept right, I didn't even have to look down the start line. I knew it was game over.
So you felt more comfortable outdoors. Like Supercross was a little more trickier to come by. Those were more work for you.
Absolutely. Born and raised in District 14. It
That's
was
right.
it was the Mecca racing of dude. It was the Mecca racing back then. Let's go back and talk about names of Eddie Warren, Keith Bowen, all the Bigelows.
Those brothers, the Bigelow
Swales.
brothers.
Yeah, dude. The racing in Michigan, D14 racing in Michigan in the 80s there was no other state any better ever.
Yeah.
So I was an outdoor guy, absolutely. That cut my teeth doing that. Back in the day, every kid now has got a frickin' Supercross track in their backyard.
Right.
That wasn't just. It wasn't. Times have changed. I'm building a Supercross track for one of the Loretta kids right now, because these kids at 13, 14 years old, they have to be on a Supercross track. There's no choice. They have to.
Hey, did you ever go up to Jeff Warren and go, you got to wear the full face of Rye, man. Just you got to come with
You're
us.
sitting here.
He held out so damn
showy
long
open
on those.
face for-
the showy on the 500, and you just wear a pair of goggles.
He might wear a nose guard.
Yes, he
and
would wear a
his
little
teeth are
bit.
just
Yes, you can see him
sitting
go.
there.
Yeah, like
way down, like 88 or something.
way-
Like,
Oh,
yeah.
they weren't even making that helmet anymore.
no,
and
he's
still
like, I'm just
running.
going to run the one from last year. Shut
Yeah.
up.
Yeah, with the Oakley full
Yes.
face mask on it.
Yes.
Hey, those are fun times, aren't they? Though? Seriously.
Oh
God,
yes, it
no,
was
I
so
don't know.
fashionable, and we need to ask Jeff and see what his
Well, it's
dental bill
epic
was like.
looking in our memories, but imagine the roost hitting you
On
in
the
face.
and he rode. I'm going to
dude.
ride a 500 with an open face helmet, and just to prove, like Jeff Hemming wore the black.
Wore the black
97.
on the hottest day of the year. Yeah.
Damn.
I know. I see those pictures of Jeff Ward, and I think, like, they just forced him to wear a shirt. Like,
I would
'cause he
ride
cut
without
those
one.
jerseys
If it
to
wasn't-
nothing.
if Sensalo wasn't making me, I wouldn't be
wear
wearing a
this.
shirt.
Yeah, and of course Jeff Ward pops up again. Somebody said something about the hardest sport in the world is like tennis or something like that, and Jeff Ward really
Yeah.
he pops
All
back
those
up
times
again.
you've been to the hospital after a tennis
A
match.
tennis match.
Yeah.
He's gnarly, dude.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Hey, Jeff, late in your career, I don't know if I remember this right. Did you change up your diet like very different?
Yeah, well, so in 1990, let's see, I won in 89, I won in 91, 92, or let's see, 89, 90. Yeah, so 89, 90, I won.
It's hard to
I
remember all the
didn't win
championships.
Yeah, I didn't win in 91. I'll be the first to admit, got a little lazy. You're making some money, get a little lazy. And so I hired Jeff Spencer to be my trainer, and he was a vegetarian. And so, of course, he pushed me towards that. And so starting 91, I'm getting back fit. Start the 92 season off, winning a ton. I'm lean, I'm fit, I'm in great shape. And so I didn't change. And looking back, everybody 92, 93, 94, everybody's telling me, they're like, dude, you're too thin. You're not what you used to be. And so, yeah, from 91, 92, 93, I was a vegetarian. I wasn't eating any meat, just just a vegetarian, and just that's what he pushed towards me. And I was super strong. I was fit and in great shape, but I was eating my body up. I was 100%. When I look back at it, 100%. And so, yeah, I did about a 5-year stand there where I was a vegetarian. In fact, I was for a long time until my wife and I had kids that we started eating some chicken again. So yeah. It was, looking, when you're 92, when you're winning, you don't change anything. I'm going to eat the same way. I'm going to train. I'm invincible. I'm winning everything. Yeah. So you mentally, you don't want to change, because this is why it's happening. Yeah, I was fit, but, I wasn't getting enough intake, and ended up, your body starts, just
cannibalizing itself. Huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
So
tell me about Jean-Michel Bayle and him as a teammate and Ricky as a teammate, all your different teammates, the dynamic there. Like Jean, he to me is an enigma. He came in, whooped some ass,
won everything,
and said, "I'm done. See ya."
Yeah. No, he's super talented. We had different work ethics and different eating habits, but there was always a communication gap. We didn't get along. Everybody knows that. Yeah, we battled, and he's sitting on the tailgate eating Twix candy bars and drinking a Pepsi, and I'm chewing on wheat thins and drinking water.
This guy's killing me. Are you serious?
All these, but he was super talented. I mean, he was just multi-talented, and so the tough days, my work ethic paid off. But he was awesome. Did a great job, Supercross, Motocross, won some titles, and then you're right. I'm out of here. I'm going road racing, and went and had a reasonably successful road race career, and totally different, opposite spectrums of the world. And it's amazing.
It is. Those are far apart worlds, right, in some ways. It's like I can't imagine. Yeah. So, yeah.
So I had a lot of great teammates. I was a teammate with George Holland for 1 year, or in '89. He was defending his 125 title, and so we got to be good buddies. And, he retired after that, with bad knees. And I still talk to George Holland. He has a multi-million-dollar successful almond company, raises almonds in Southern California. And so, yeah, just a bunch of cool people. Kudrowski was salt of the earth, super nice guy. Worked hard, won some championships just off of busting his butt. And so, then there's Guy Cooper. Who doesn't love Guy Cooper flying through the air? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Not afraid to jump.
Yeah. So with all those
no.
good teammates like that, I'll circle back to Bayle for just a minute, because we always hear, these teammates don't get along. What did that mean to have a teammate like that? Was there tension between you guys, was it a drive between you? Did you have words with him, or did you just like not talk to him? Or
I do my thing, he does his thing.
Yeah.
No, we didn't communicate, and Dave Arnold was the most successful team manager in the world. Don't think that they didn't think about that back in the day. Now they all want to gel and get along because they all ride at the same facility. Mm-hmm. But controversy and a little anger towards your teammate, all that does is push each other.
Yeah.
It drives you. I don't know how these kids do it in today's world. There's no way in HELL I can ride 5 days a week with Cooper and then go race him on the weekend.
Be hard.
And be pissed off and win. I get why the race teams and why they all want to do it, so they can keep an eye on and keep things under control. But man, as a riders, I think it's tough, and they're just gonna make it stale. You want controversy. You want Jeff Stanton sleeping in the doghouse because Rick Johnson and Jeff Stanton made a bet. You want Bayle sitting on the tailgate eating Twix and me looking at him going, "What the hell?" This guy's an ass. You want that. We've lost some of that dynamic.
Yeah, I like that, and that's like we talk about this sometimes with everybody's their teammates, but you guys are out there racing on your own, and we talk about, like, if you watch Formula One, the teammates crash each other all the time. And $10 million cars. You know what I mean?
Correct.
Like they're at each other. They're competitive. And I think you're right. I think that was a good thing for the sport anyway, for us to watch, you know?
It's kind of like even in youth sports, like all the kids through social media, like all the opposing teams, they know each other. Their travel teams cross pollinate. It's just different.
It's very
It is different now. Not saying it's
think-
better.
No, do you think Justin Cooper's going to take out Cooper Webb?
Nope.
Hell no, he's
Nope.
not going to do that.
It's not the
You know,
same.
and
for
so
sure.
that's what I'm saying there, Dave. We've lost some of that dynamic. I mean, yeah, the racing this weekend, the racing was good. You know, Jet came from behind and you know, past those guys, but there's not any banging and beating and hatred towards somebody. Not that we need hatred, but it just creates more excitement.
Hey, who is your guy? Like Vince Freeze is the guy. Like I would imagine there's a lot of people that would name Vince Freeze like the guy I don't want to race. Who is the guy you did not want to race
Or have to pass.
or have to pass? Like
Yeah.
Keith Bowen, I've been watching. My wife
Bowen?
goes, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm watching the '88 Daytona. Shut up. Let me just enjoy my night." And I'm such a nerd. She's like, and I'm like, man, Keith Bowen was all over the damn track. He was wild.
I didn't have any hatred till later in my career when a guy like I'm good buddies with him, and I'm not afraid to throw him under the bus. A guy like Fro came in and just started moving people out of the way with, you know, no mercy or nothing. And so that's when my attitude towards it kind of changed. So, you know, it's not that I hated racing Bayle or anybody along there, because I knew I could handle them at any day. But it's just when all the dirty riding came in, you know, Matasevich. How many times did Matasevich take people out and then get up and start swinging?
Him and Bradshaw
so-
go at it.
Yeah, him and Bradshaw still don't like each other,
Right.
if I don't understand correctly.
Yeah.
Hey, what was your
Yeah,
thoughts
and
on those
so-
dudes when they popped in? Like them dudes, they led both. They were like 1-2 up until like round 5 of their rookie season in the 250 class. I'm like, damn, they came in with a bang.
Yeah. They did. They came in with, they're young and dumb and, you know, eager, but
Beating each
you
other.
know, no. Yeah. So it's you take it with a grain of salt. You keep doing your homework and you don't change anything. You keep pushing forward.
Yeah. Yeah, I always laugh at that one crash. It's Matasevich and Bradshaw, and one of them goes into the concrete wall. And it was like, no big deal. I mean, I know it hurt. It obviously hurt.
Multiple times.
But it happened again the next week, you know.
And then it's Larry Ward mixing it up. Like,
Yeah.
it's a good
Yeah,
time to be a
yeah.
fan. Like dorks like me, I was like, yo, what's gonna happen next
Yeah, there's
weekend?
no
This is
telling, man.
crazy.
We asked David Bailey, Jeff, about that Vince Freeze situation, and he goes, you know, Vince Freeze wouldn't have continued that.
In my
type of-
time, he goes, I would have one dealing with that guy, and then I would destroy myself and him. That he would know that this is never going to happen again. And he goes, it wouldn't be me; it'd be the next guy. Everybody would have policed it themselves. Is kind of the way he described it.
Yeah. And you know what? Another thing I think is gone in this sport is studying your opponent, knowing who you can pass and how you can race them. You know, I'm going to use Chad Reed, and I think it was Trey Kennard. You know, quite a few years back, that you know, one of them made an aggressive pass on the other, and it's like 3 turns later, the other one come in and took him clean off the track.
Yeah, I can
And I
totally
thought-
picture that.
Thinking to myself, okay, if you just stuff somebody really dirty
Yeah.
and you don't think it's coming back within 2 or 3 turns, and you're just thinking about your own world, dude, you're in the wrong world.
Payback's
You know,
coming,
so-
right?
Yeah, 100%. And so I just don't think in today's world they study enough for what the rider's ability is and what they're going to do if they make an aggressive pass. They're making an aggressive pass, dude. You better be inside the whole time, and
Yeah.
you know it's coming back. And so, you know, Matasevich, I knew how to pass him and race him. Larry Ward, you knew how to pass him and race him, and so yeah.
Do you think
just
that some of this, and it's definitely I would hate to say lack of racecraft. I mean, these dudes have racecraft nowadays, but the bikes are going so much faster. I feel like in your time, you could actually execute more racecraft because you weren't doing 95 miles an hour. You were doing 45 or whatever.
Yeah. No, I've got a new 450 in the garage, and I enjoy riding it, but give me a 250F all day. These new bikes are just so powerful. And I'm getting old too, but these new bikes are so powerful and so aggressive, and it's we can talk this all day long. Should they all be on 350s or all be on 250s, and would we still have more racers? There's no doubt about it. We would have more racers at the last round of the Supercross if they weren't on 450s.
Unquite, it's such a big motorcycle.
Yeah,
I mean, we lose in the last 2 weeks. Craig's out, Dean Wilson's out, this person's out.
Yeah.
And if they were on a smaller CC bike, would that happen as much? It's food for thought.
Yeah.
Well, you think about too, back in your day, if somebody, like if you made a mistake, you paid for the mistake. Like you, not necessarily, I'm not saying like crashing, but one, retaliation, but two, if you came up short or missed a rhythm section or something.
Oh, you paid the price for a while.
It cost you 2, 3, 4 seconds.
Yeah.
These guys, you'll see them totally case a jump, totally miss a rhythm section, and they twist the throttle one time, and it's like there's no penalty.
They're right back into it.
Yeah, there was no time penalty for that mistake. I feel like you guys on two strokes were
so
a lot more
and
precise in technique than they are now.
Yeah, I saw that this weekend with Justin, the rhythm section that Jet was quadding. He just like a couple of times he went through there, cased it, but then he just kept casing it all the way through, and the bike just goes blab,
right?
just kept powering through it, and it's like, damn, did that just really happen?
Yeah.
Yeah, the bike's so good that they there's no time penalty for making mistakes like that. I think that's one of the things that I don't know mixes it up or causes it to not be as good a racing, because even the people that are making mistakes are not paying a real time penalty for it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not as big of a time penalty. That's for sure.
When you guys were on the two strokes, you missed a rhythm section or you come up short on something. Now they case stuff and they don't even slow down. You know what I mean? Like back
that's
then,
part of what bit Forkner, it appears. He cased the jump and he could have chosen to go full brakes, but he just stayed.
Man,
in there.
I watched that, but 3 laps prior, he shorted it more and more until he 75%ed it. Like if you go back and watch it, the 3 laps prior, he comes up shorter and
which
shorter.
is like where you like to land.
I like to land right. I like
50,
to barely
50.
clear.
You're more of a 50.
Maybe I might. Maybe I won't. I don't know. I don't know.
All that noise you heard a minute ago, Jeff, was
Kevin,
me
knocking shit over.
He's got his arm
idiot.
in a sling with a plated collarbone, fresh plated.
That was my Jordan. This is what I equated Daytona Supercross, because I announced Daytona with Rob Bidos and Wes Kane on Saturday night. That was my Jordan flu game, bro. That was my night. I went all in. We had a great time. That's the one night. It's so weird. Like that's the only Supercross where you're not there and hearing the normal announcers. It's me. It's normally Wygant and Bidos, but Wygant was up in the booth, so it was me, Wes, and Bidos. Man, it was so much fun. So good.
Are you the one that invited everybody onto the track?
I said, let's go, everybody. It's a white flag lap. Let's have some fun here
Let's
at Daytona.
interrupt the last lap of a professional event.
No, I was honestly saying, after it started happening, I told my son, I said, I've done this race for 10 years now. I said, watch this right here. They're going to go like an Oklahoma land rush. They're going to get 40 acres and a mule, and here we go. And they started so early, and I was telling them, I'm like, please, you have plenty of time. I just didn't want to see people get hurt at that point.
Oh, yeah.
After they started going, I was like, please take your time. Do not run. There's plenty of podium for everybody. I don't know. There's plenty of podium. Pass around a little podium.
They can't start the podium
You got a little
until the
podium on the
race
side of
is
your mouth.
over.
there.
Kevin had been calling it for like the whole race. Don't forget, as soon as the white flag comes out, you guys can rush.
Pull your
You can
pants
have tough blocks, start finish line
Anything on
trellises,
the track. take your-
goggles.
pyro, Jason Anderson's KX 450. Take it.
If you guys want goggles, you better take off.
take it right off Jet's head.
That's amazing. Yeah, that'll be the last time for that. They done ruined that. That party's over.
Yeah, I'm hearing that's not going to happen going forward.
Well, it always takes one or two
Right.
to ruin it
And,
for everybody.
I mean, there's a reason why there's a sticker on there. Your hair dryer. Don't drop this in the
I'll dry my hair while I'm in the tub.
in the tub. Hey, can I talk teammates and let Brock by and all the good stuff that teammates used to do for folks? But then when you watch that 92 Supercross, and Jean-Michel Bayle's like, he's trying to foul plugs. He's trying to have all these little issues to not
help Damon.
To help Damon Bradshaw.
the
It is so
competition.
obvious. And he goes, I've got to pass this guy. He finally has to pass Damon. Like, thanks, dude.
Oh, yeah.
I won without you, in
No,
spite of you.
there's no help there. My whole career, there was no help there, period. And so, it's hard to love on somebody when you see that, and, so
For sure.
but it's all good. As I said this weekend, we mature, and him and I, we text quite often.
You
In
have
fact,
spoken to him.
Oh, I speak to him all the time. Yeah,
Wow.
he commented on my Instagram stuff last week with me riding in Gainesville. He's like, dude, you still look the same. It looks awesome. And so,
Yep.
That's cool.
we
Yeah, I
mature,
figure time heals all wounds, but like at the time when you're watching it real time, you're like, dude, Jean-Michel Bayle ain't
sucks,
giving a
dude.
shit about Jeff Stanton's title.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
don't care.
Yeah. In that you don't, that makes you understand why there was so much hatred,
Sure.
when you look back and see all of that. It's like, dude, you're not going on, on the flip side of that, Guy Cooper comes up to me. We're walking down to the start. He comes up, he goes, dude, I'm going to do whatever I can. You got to win this championship. I'm going to be there for you. I'm going to be there for you.
Of course he
That
does.
freaking guy goes out, pulls a hole shot, lets me by, and rides the ride of his life.
Rides the Jeff
Is in
Emick
second.
bike and blocks everybody.
Good
Yeah.
man.
Yeah. So that's the flip side of that story.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, there always is some.
That's
good,
awesome.
Right? What you depend of, or what you decide to focus on, for sure. So,
yeah.
it's cool.
Hey, at what point did you realize you can make some money doing this? Like, I like knowing when guys go, I think I can do this. I can make a living.
when you start winning titles. I mean it takes winning titles, and once you win titles, your salary goes up and
I've
your
never done
bonuses
that.
go up, and so you gotta nobody wants to pay somebody to get third place, so you gotta win, and you gotta win titles, and that's when you know that you can start putting some money away. So
Let me add some titles.
No different than today's world.
True. Let's do some math between the four of us. How many Supercross, motocross titles? John, you've got.
I have 0.
I've got 0. Nick.
Although I have been riding at Itchicony,
Okay.
I've ridden it.
He's 0 for 4 at Itchicony.
I'm still at 0.
Dang it! So,
But
between
you
the
add
6
all
of
that
us,
up,
Yeah.
yeah, the 4 of us, we've got 6 titles.
there's 6 titles.
6
All right,
titles.
I'm good with that.
Okay.
So as a collective group, we
Us
could
4.
call our group
Six
six
time.
times. Yeah.
I'm gonna have a
We can't.
6-time group text thread.
This is strictly
He's
a
like,
500
nah, bro.
moment.
6 times for me.
Yeah, 6 times, man, which is amazing. And your
Right.
help at the
Oh.
Motocross of Nations.
You're part of the 6-time group. Well, how many titles everybody got?
Oh, he's got all that. He
We're-
did all that.
Yeah,
we just hang out.
he's the
we're
president.
We're the dumb friends.
founding member of the 6-time club.
Yeah, dude, and I'm all about like donation. Speaking of that, I'm looking at these helmets, the OG blue helmets with the 2 white stripes. Come on, man. Let's settle down on your crazy paint jobs. Let's go back. I know, get off my lawn, but dude, it's the deal. It's the bomb.
Yeah, it's epic.
That was the honor to be a part of the Motocross of Nations. It's just, Greg Prim. True story. I don't know if many people know that Greg Prim paid for those paint jobs every year.
I did not know
didn't
that.
So, yeah, he would pay Troy for the labor to put those together. That was just, and then Troy would paint him a set of them as well. So that was part of the deal. You wanted to do Motocross of Nations to honor your country and be a part of it, but that's what you wanted in your trophy room.
And you saved all that, of course, right? I mean, that has to be proud moments for you.
God, you were kicking John's ass. You kicked his ass with the XR75s.
And then all your
Now
helmets.
Donations helmets.
Dude.
Now the nation's
I'm
helmets.
looking at his donate. John's got all this stuff down here. It's like,
I've just
Jeff's got
lost
you
so
covered.
much respect for John.
I like
Yes.
to collect stuff, but Jeff has the actual.
well, it's his stuff.
Yes,
like,
it's his stuff.
the stuff you want to
He
collect
collected it through a lot of hard work.
through winning.
He didn't collect it; it was given to him.
Right, I got it.
with a lot of hard work.
Yes, he earned it. But yeah,
I mean, it's Motocross of Nations is a sweet spot in our heart because we're old school guys like you, and we know what it means. But like, man, it's kind of doesn't have quite the same sentiment these kids have. And I know you were right in the best part of it, the era. So you can talk about that.
Absolutely, it's 100% lost its flair. Yeah, love it or hate it. I think we need some new people in there. I mean, love Roger, hate Roger. It's just like our freaking president. Let's get the old bags out and get
That's
some young meat in there.
Get some new
And
thoughts,
so,
right?
Yeah, absolutely. And so, there needs to be a burning desire put back on the Motocross of Nations, and we pick a good team and we go there and we do whatever it takes to win this thing. It's not that the Euros have gotten better, absolutely, especially on motocross tracks, but let's put a little desire and light a fire under somebody to want to go do this.
Heck, for a number of years, you'd hear, well, these riders have to spend their money to go to the race. I mean, it just seems so simple in contract negotiations to just add a line. If I'm chosen for the Motocross of Nations,
You will handle this.
You'll cover my expenses
By
and
20
pay me
grand.
something.
20 grand, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they go on their own dime. Like, there's no money.
Yeah, no, that's great.
Just honor.
But the honor part these days, it's like Jeff said, it's lacking. It's like I don't want to spend the money. I don't want to put the time in. I need a break. And heck, man, I think you guys raced way more races than these dudes do today.
Oh, absolutely. Way more. And, when back in the day when you were picked, American Honda didn't even think twice about it. It's just absolutely, they're getting the ink out of it. You're on that manufacturer's bike, and they're getting the press out of it and all their sponsors. So it pays for itself that way. Things have gotten, way more costly, but yeah.
Well, it's good to see Triumph in the mix. And maybe you guys get to a point where you got Triumph guys, and I'm sure Ricky and Bobby, and man, you got the right dudes that could relight that torch if the right set of circumstances happen.
Yeah, it's going to take a year to 2 years to get the credibility built up to where you can go after a big name guy and he'll be like, oh yeah, you got the bike and you can back it up. You're not going to get that the first year, maybe the second year, to get somebody that's going to go out and dominate and win every weekend. So we're building up the credibility week after week, and Bobby and Scuba will make it happen. And so we just get results and keep bettering things, and they'll get there. Absolutely.
Awesome.
So if we get online right now to Jeff Stanton, is it Jeff Stanton Adventures? What is the name of your website?
JeffStantonAdventures.com.
Okay, so if we get on there right now and pick a date in 2025, it might be open.
Maybe. You better get on it.
It is open because I haven't completely I haven't even posted it yet, the dates, and so I'll wait till about halfway through the year.
Well,
but you can go to JeffStantonAdventures.com and pick out some merch, and I can send it to you.
All right. We'll do that too, but that'll just be the reminder that we need to pick a date in 25, and we won't let Kevin. We'll make Kevin ride on the back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe my collarbone will be healed by then.
Jeff, I had a long talk with him because his collarbone, he's like, I don't think I need to get on a motorcycle and all this stuff, and I'm like, no, you're going to.
What did he do? What'd you
do? Who wants to tell the story?
I should have been in Walmart looking at makeup and fell. Is about what I did. I was going 6 miles an hour, first gear in the trails with these two guys and you as well. We had a great day, and I just hit a tree and broke my collarbone.
He rode over to the
ribs.
edge of the trail, and the trail broke away.
Broke my whole life.
He truly didn't do anything wrong. He just rode too close to the edge. The edge broke off. The front tire drops, hits a tree.
Too close to the edge.
And basically, his head hit the ground first and rolled his helmet down hard enough
I
to
destroyed
break his
my
collarbone.
Like
it's destroyed.
My surgeon was like, "How did you do this?" Well, I wish I had a cool story. I jumped 19 buses at Caesars, and I jumped 18 up to 19. Let's just say that.
Right.
Oh well.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'm having to talk myself back into riding dirt bikes and whatever. But I just it's only been 2 weeks.
Gravel at Jeff's. In
Yes.
2025, you could lay down a possibility for that. Let's do it.
Yeah. Dude, I've got 75-year-olds that ride road bikes their whole life to come and do it. So it can be as easy and as hard as we want it to be.
All right. Well,
so cool.
Merch first, set a date second.
There it is.
We'll be talking to you.
There you go.
Jeff, thanks for your time, brother. Thanks for dealing with us, and we'll call you back in the morning.
Yep.
Right.
Check on you in the morning, make sure everything's good.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you.
Cheers, brother.
See you.
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate you, buddy.
All right, bye.
Yep. All right, bye-bye.
Stanton.
Yeah.
Cool.
The
dude.
man, 6-time. Part of the 6-time club.
Yeah, he's the
Part
founder.
of our he's the founder
Can we
of
just
our
call him
six,
founder?
of
And we'll
our,
be members.
of our 6-time
Yeah.
club.
Yeah,
Yeah.
our 6-time club.
Yeah, he's,
Absolutely.
he's
We'll
the
just be
founding
members.
member.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
president.
chairman.
Yeah.
4 members. He did all the work.
When you add it all up, it comes to 6 titles.
Yeah.
It's nice.
You know, I didn't know. We talked about, he said he was telling that story, the president of Daytona. I don't know anything about civics because I had no idea Daytona had a president.
Honda Civic.
No, the president of Daytona, man. There's one guy that runs the whole town
Yeah.
It's a
down there.
town like
Yeah.
like
No,
most
he
towns,
runs the Speedway. He's
Most-
not
most
talking
towns
about
Kelleher, Mr. Kelleher.
Most towns
this
have
joker.
mayors.
I mean, I didn't even pick up what he's
I
throwing
knew what
down.
he was laying down.
Yeah.
I didn't. I'm all stuck on Honda
Yeah,
Civics.
Mr. Kelleher is the president, and I know that's what he's talking about. And there was some scuttlebutt about that today about them just like, we're done.
They're
You
very
knew it-
unhappy
you knew
with
it was
that,
coming.
dude.
Yeah, it was a horrible
The
look.
one guy's climbing the fence with his butt hanging out. It's like, dude, get out of here,
what
man.
is wrong with
these
you?
people. It's always one or two that ruin it.
or
for
12,000. Dude, there might have been 15,000 people at that podium at that point
For real.
when they finally got over
That's
there.
Motocross of Nations level podium.
I mean,
There were
that's
so many people
That's
there.
cool, except for they interrupted the last lap.
Yeah,
of the
it's
race.
like-
And that's such a great thing about Daytona is that they let you.
for sure. Of all
let you
places
do
where
that.
they
they used
wouldn't.
to let you.
Yes.
Yes.
They used
Now
to.
they're
Back
gonna,
in 24 when they used to let
Dipshits.
you.
yeah.
God.
Now they're gonna have snipers on top of the thing. They're just gonna start taking people out.
Take the goalpost down.
Yeah, and they'll
Yeah,
just be
what a
drilling
bummer.
people with a long gun from the top of
Do you
the...
remember a couple years ago in Tennessee? Well, it was when Tennessee beat Alabama.
They knocked that
Year for us,
goalpost over?
and took it and threw it in the river.
Oh, I didn't know all that.
They took it all the way down,
All the way out of the stadium. That's
to
work.
the river
That
and
is
threw
work.
it. Yeah,
Wow.
So there's a Paulding County Facebook group
who John's the president of.
who I'm not the
He's the
president of.
president of Paulding County.
Yes,
Look it
I'm the
up.
president.
Look it
I'm
up.
like the Daytona president.
Yes.
So they started talking about all these high school pranks. And I guess Paulding County stole McEachern's goalpost in 85.
Yeah.
In 86, they painted the McEachern Indian like the Paulding County Patriots. So they painted them red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
And then around
I remember that.
87, North Cobb, somewhere around in there.
I've seen animals brought into schools and like live animals,
Goats and junk, right?
cows, and
Yeah.
into the principal.
But they tore the Indian down, and North Cobb took it. Like, I don't know why we're talking about this, but I guess it's about people rushing the track. You know how you
I got
do.
a story about Kyle. Like they do that senior prank every year at the end of school.
Yeah,
Where they're like, oh, we're gonna roll the
we're
school.
gonna let 2,000 crickets loose.
Yeah, it's gonna be
It'd
crazy.
be hilarious.
Well, Kyle's there with all his buddies, and it gets wild, and he leaves his wallet. He in the mayhem, he just left his wallet. And in the annual, my little brother Kyle, in the annual, the portrait of the senior tree that is rolled, you see his wallet, a V, a perfect stand up A. His wallet is that way, and he went to jail because some folks wrote some racial slurs on the skylights,
oh, so it had to have been the guy who
and they
left
were
the
like,
wallet
"Well, this
who
dude
wrote
left
it.
his wallet here." My mom was crying on the stand. Kyle's like, I don't know how to even get up there.
Yeah.
On top of the lunchroom, the skylights, they wrote stuff.
Bad words.
Very bad words.
Yeah.
And his wallet was right there. Like,
So we need somebody to nail this,
And it
you
cost him
dropped your
like
wallet.
community service. And my mom crying on the stand. Like, Jesus, kid.
I
And his
tell you.
wallet in the annual, the photo, you see it in the
That's such an
annual.
epic moment in
it's-
Kyle's
right,
life,
Right,
man.
It's like story of my life.
When I was a senior in high school, we were like rolling the school or whatever, and so everybody's out there throwing toilet paper, and this is like the most movie-esque scene. Like 5 cops cars pull up, spotlights, like they spotlight the whole thing. Probably there's
They watched
like,
and they
"Thanks,
thought,
guys."
3, 2,
yeah, and
1,
they
hit
like,
your lights.
Correct. They timed it like it was perfect. And so we're standing there, and I'm kind of in the middle
He's
of
like-
everybody, and the cops are. And it's the funniest thing because the cops are, all right, everybody, freeze, stay where you're at, and everybody stops except for me. I bolt. Like,
Gone.
Yeah, dog, y'all stay here and talk to
He's a
them.
survivor, brother.
I was a survivor. I was gone. Like I just was running past other kids, and they're like looking at me as I go
Yes.
by, and just gone.
They
Like,
describe people. There's 2 people on an airline when it's about to crash. It's on fire. There's people that just sit there in their chair, and there's other people that are on top of them running to the exit. He's that guy.
We do what Nick does. He's a
He ain't gonna
survivor,
freeze.
dude. We're not
Correct.
playing this.
I
game.
ran straight to the cross country course. Like we had
Gone.
a cross country course in the woods.
Hit those
Set the
trails,
best 5K time they had all season.
which Nick can set a gnarly 5K.
I was
for sure.
out. I just come rolling
He
up
just
in my
had his
house.
ankle fused 3 weeks ago. Spring
So
break. He's just
cool.
gotten over that.
Yeah, he's good for running right now.
I ran straight through like two
course.
neighborhoods to my house.
But
and just
seriously,
cruised
you
in.
threw down a 1 mile time recently.
Oh,
A
yeah.
sub 6 or 6-ish, right?
I thought it was sub 6.
Sub 6.
Okay. So I tell this to Amanda, and she's like, "What the heck, man? I don't know anybody that can run that fast, except
I
for
believe,
like
no,
kids,
I can believe that.
you know."
That's scooting.
Yeah, dude, he
That's
didn't even
good.
steal anything.
No.
So if anything happens, follow what Nick does. You
Just
won't be
try
able
to
to stay with him.
Just get on that pace as early as
That's
you
going to
can.
be the biggest problem.
I can still put down I always make this, like when people, I'm like, I don't know anybody for a mile that outweighs me that can outrun me.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know what
you
I mean?
need them to weigh what you weigh if we're going to
Like
compete,
at,
right?
like at 220, I don't know
You're not
anybody else
fighting
that
against
runs
some
a
kid who's 120.
5-ish something. You know what I mean? So for a mile anyway.
I don't care. I
do that.
can't. I've never ran anything in the 5s.
No.
I remember almost dying one time when I got in the 7s. Took me out for a couple of weeks. Had to have some IVs.
Yep. Some
You know.
hammy problems.
Yeah.
We got to pack a trailer, man.
Yes,
we're
we
going-
do need to finish we
we're
got
going to-
motorcycles, 4 more that need to go in. And Kevin's like, "You think you could take 4 Honda 50s?" And I'm like, "Look, man, I know they're little motorcycles, but he's got giant handlebars on them. They look like ape
They
hangers.
do. They're just as wide as any other.
They're
thing.
just like
How
a
about
false-
this? We just take the 50s, we leave the adventure, the
And
big
you race 'em.
bikes, and then we just
Ride
ride
the
the
50s
50s
down.
in Daytona
I love that plan.
down Main Street.
Hey,
Yeah.
problem solved if we do that. Unless Randy's could haul them down there for us.
There you go.
Yeah.
But he already said they're not playing.
Could you put them in
you're
Carrie
home?
Underwood?
Could you get Carrie to bring us? Could Carrie Underwood bring
Hey,
us?
and bring that gym. Like,
Yeah,
get
will
a,
you
get
bring
workout
the
in?
gym and Carrie Underwood so we can work out together at the
Yeah, because she
Carrie,
likes to
thanks for
work out
coming down
alone.
the day in the dirt.
What if we just showed up at the day in the dirt with Carrie Underwood? We like
I mean, you win.
she's friends with
would-
our friends
you
Randy.
win.
We would win.
You would win.
Yeah,
Like,
we'd
they'd be
win.
like, dude, did y'all see over the
I wouldn't
winter-
even crank my motorcycle if he brought Carrie Underwood. There'd be no reason.
What if people like? I just walked by the Winners Take Y'all tent.
Why is Carrie Underwood signing autographs over there? That's weird.
Carrie,
She's our
Underwood's-
executive producer. She's the one who runs all the stuff for the
She
Six
may
Time
want to
Club.
get in on this with the ground floor. I mean, you don't.
It's going to
It's
be
a
a big
good
thing,
investment.
Carrie.
Yeah, I mean,
Just trust me.
Yeah, big investment right now.
We're gonna be big.
That's
She
some
doesn't
outlaw
know.
funk.
Some outlaw
Don't
funk.
think I won't be jamming outlaw funk wide open
all day,
at
every
the
day.
camper.
At
Every
Wednesday.
time
Turn it
Nick
down for a
rides.
second. Can I tell my karma story? Because you got anybody listening may not appreciate
Yeah,
this.
but hang on before you start. Every time you go to the starting line, I'm gonna have that speaker cranking that as soon as you ride off.
I'll play it over the PA player.
Yes,
I will
exactly.
strap that speaker to my handlebars.
Okay. All
I
right,
got no
karma
problem with
time.
that.
Tell me
So
karma.
we're talking about the karma of Kevin getting hurt because we were making fun of the two guys riding on the motorcycle together. So totally different story, and nobody else may appreciate this but y'all. But so I'm going to Snowshoe, West Virginia one time. 5 of us packed in a Ford Taurus that belonged to my friend's dad.
Taurus.
Shit strapped.
Taurus.
We got shit strapped to the top, hanging out of the trunk. We stop in Seneca, South Carolina at a gas station about 1 o'clock in the morning. The whole town's closed down except for this. We walk in, and it is literally the ugliest woman you've ever seen in your life working this gas station. I mean, she's got like the Spice Girl teeth, you know what I mean? Like they're all different colors doing their own thing.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
hair, like she's got a mustache, fucking goony goo goo shit. And so with my buddy, I come out and my buddy's like, hey man, that was the ugliest fucking woman I've ever seen in my life. And so we like,
Well, let's
for
go
the
back in there.
next 4 hours, the rest of the way to West Virginia, whatever, we're talking, laughing, cutting up. Like, oh, you would do that, or you would have to do. What would it take for you to do that woman in the gas station in Seneca South? So we go through, and just like we literally talk about it for like 4 hours. We get out of the Taurus, and go eat breakfast. Get back in the car, I put it in drive. Car never moves again. Transmission fell out of it.
Transmission.
Karma.
Karma, dude.
Instantly, my buddy in the back seat goes, It's what you get for talking about that bitch for 4 hours.
Now, that's a
went out.
gnarly karma.
She ruined that. Your karma ruined your transmission.
If you could have had your transmission go out instead of a broken collarbone,
take it every day.
I would think
all
so.
day, every day.
She's put an ugly woman's curse on our transmission.
She did. It's the same thing. She just didn't require it. Required a different kind of surgery.
Yeah.
A mechanic instead of a surgeon. Mm-hmm. Start that outlaw funk. Let's say bye. We
go.
got to load a camper.
Do it.
Day in the dirt. Hasta la vista.